Welcome, all my vegan bodybuilders. How are you all doing? I thought I'd just come on a little early because I'm ready, and I see you guys are ready too. So thanks for being here. If you haven't figured out who this is, it's Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. Doesn't suck being vegan, guys. Here to do the Friday live stream. We do this every Friday, right about this time. Again, a couple minutes early, but yeah, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is my standard start time. And I sometimes try to do live streams on non-Fridays, just to try to cater to people whose Fridays might be busy, or if you're in Europe, I try to come on a little early. I know for any Europeans watching, you should be in bed. What are you staying up so late watching me for? So anyway, guys, thanks. Good to see all the happy fam. I saw you guys already assembled, so I thought I'd come on and say hello. So let me know if anyone's got anything you want to talk about early on in this live stream before it really gets cooking. Hopefully it won't get cooking too much, but yeah, just chilling right now. Let's see. Who's here right now? Let's see. I see quite a few comments from before I came on. If you're listening, Fu, congrats on getting your new Camry. And yeah, good plan. If there is some kind of apocalypse, vegan apocalypse, rapture, who knows? Yeah, hopefully if something like that happens, you got a free car there. So good for you there. Let's see. Yeah, tofu. Let's all eat tofu as well. Yeah. So if you're vegan, you can't eat tofu. You can't bodybuild. A bunch of other things we're told too. I was told as a vegan I shouldn't be selling t-shirts. Like everyone else in the world could sell t-shirts online or in person, but somehow as a vegan, it's somehow wrong of me to do that. So yeah, a lot of things we can't do as vegans. But I say F these people who try to tell you what you can or can't do. If they want to live like that, totally cool. Bless them. They have every right to live in a way that they think is like so morally perfect. Totally cool. I just don't like to hang out with people like that because they're a bit obnoxious typically, especially if they are trying to project their moral perfection onto all other vegans and non-vegans for that matter. Hey, Groovy Lisa. So what did Travis do there, Sarah? Let's see. Yeah, Sarah, and yeah, vegans can't eat ice cream, we've heard. And we can, but we're being inconsistent, so we're somehow doing it wrong. And for that matter, yeah, we heard just the other day you can't even eat food that's considered like not healthy, like say junk food. And who determines exactly what's on this healthy food list that vegans are allowed to eat from? I guess like vegan ice cream for sure, totally off the list, but whole food plants on the list. But how about like tofu? It's processed, but not in a way that makes it unhealthy. It's like we need to have a governing board of what is permissible morally for vegans to eat. We already know, just don't eat animal products, eat plants, eat fungi. Yeah, Sarah, we heard too from another follower of that Alex guy that vacations are problematic, particularly if you just go on a little drive somewhere you don't need to go, or if you fly on an airplane, God forbid, But non-vegans, they can fly all they want, they can drive all they want. Just vegans have to live this like monastic lifestyle, monk-like lifestyle, like monks and nuns and stuff like that. Yo, V, how's it going, V? I saw you dealing with some idiots in the comments there, V Lamb, and I'm sorry about that. It's funny, I doubt if you guys read much of the comments from yesterday's video, but you have all these basically like gaslighting fans of Cosmic Skeptics saying he wasn't talking about veganism. Like what the hell is he talking about? Like V Lamb said, yeah, here's the definition of veganism that he gave. Then inflicting harm unnecessarily on animals is always wrong, and the guys are gaslighting back. That's not what he means by veganism. Like, then why is he talking about this when he's talking about veganism? He kept bringing this concept, this principle up, yet his fans are denying that has anything to do with veganism, but it has to, because his conclusion is that about condemning overweight or bodybuilding vegans. I mean, if a vegan doesn't follow that principle of his, it's like, of course he's talking about veganism. Why else would vegan bodybuilders be accountable to this crazy, wacky, zany, stupid principle of his? It's just funny, these gaslight. I guess, narcissists attract other narcissists. I guess that's why I don't have too many narcissist followers and fans and viewers and stuff like that, because I'm not one. But I see when you're a narcissist, you get a lot of narcissistic followers, and these people are trying to gaslight V, and others in the comments say, no, he wasn't talking about veganism. Then what was he talking about? Who was he talking about? Surfers? You know, who was he talking about? Like, he's talking about vegans. It's so painfully obvious, plain as day, he's talking about vegans, and yet others in the comments are denying, no, he's not talking about veganism. Yes, he is. His whole video was titled like veganism, OnlyFans, and some other thing. I forgot, some unrelated. But the veganism part, yeah, he's talking about veganism. This principle that he thinks vegans follow. It's so, I can't believe how people are denying that no, he's not talking about veganism. Then what the hell was he talking about? Why do you even bring that crazy principle up for? Yeah, VLAM, exactly. I'm going to read VLAM here. These like gaslighting fans of his were saying, kept saying, that's not what Alex's definition of veganism. Then why did he even bring it up in the first place? I mean, why is he condemning vegan bodybuilders if that principle did not apply to the vegan bodybuilders? Then why is he even bringing it up in the first place? They're just gaslighting that it's not about veganism because they saw how easily debunked it was and how I reduced it to absurdity with ease. Like any first semester philosophy student should have been able to tear that crap argument apart. Anyway, let's just move on. I just want to tell you, V, I'm sorry you had to deal with these gaslighting, narcissistic fans of his. And yeah, cool. If you're a fan of Alex, it's awesome. I'm not saying all his fans are bad, but these ones that VLAM was dealing with were just gaslighting, completely No, forget reality. Forget all that stuff he said about veganism. All that stuff he said was not about veganism. Again, well, who was he talking about then? Surfers? Car drivers? Like, what was he talking about? Yeah, all he do is waffle, huh? Totally. Yeah, look at his philosophy. If he can't even converse like a normal person. So if any of his fanboys come here tonight, please don't bring up Kantian deontology versus utilitarianism. Speak like a freaking normal person. You don't have to understand or have ever studied moral philosophy to be vegan. So if any of you guys are watching, that's what I ask. Just come here and speak like a regular person. If you can't explain or make your point without having to resort to technical jargon, you don't understand what the hell you're talking about. You should be able to explain it to us like none of us have ever had a philosophy course, read a philosophy book ever. Just explain it to us like we're normal, regular people. I mean, I shouldn't. I mean, I've studied philosophy, obviously. You guys know I went to grad school in philosophy. I was in a PhD program. But still, you should be able to explain your point as if to anyone. If you're trying to make a point, you shouldn't have to use technical terms that only people who have studied this field understand. Anyway, good, Sarah. You don't need to know who that dude Alex is. I have no idea why he's so popular. I don't get it. I heard he made a name for himself as some kind of atheist or something like that, debating Christians and theology people or something like that. I don't know. I've never watched him. I mean, even when he was vegan, I never watched him. I just don't like content like that. I mean, if you like content like that, great. You don't have to watch the content I watch, okay? And I don't have to like the content you like. We're all free to watch what we want on YouTube, follow who we want on YouTube. So I'm just saying he's not my kind of thing I like to follow. Yeah, if you can't speak in a normal way, unknown, we're just gonna ban you. I see my Streamlabs bot got you, and if you can't speak in normal English somehow, I know maybe you're from another country, I'm not holding that against you, but try your best. But if I just see a bunch of all caps nonsense, I'm gonna block you, okay? We just ask you try to speak in a normal way. Hey, vegan metalhead. Ugh, I don't watch Cosmic Skeptic. Good, there's no reason to. He's not vegan, and I don't think he ever understood what veganism was. If he has that bizarre definition. What do you think veganism is, or at least some principle that vegans, especially vegan bodybuilders, must follow? Hey, Jessica, in college, you were in love with a man who had a Foster degree and was a grad student in anthropology, but you did not get to date him. Oh, you were in love with him, but didn't get to date him. That's sad. So, let's see. Heidi, quick hello. Missed the live again, but gonna watch? Okay, I just hang out. Ooh, when I said Heidi, my Shlomo thought I was mentioning it, him, or her, whatever it is on the Apple. Anyway, hey Sved, honestly, I don't even get why he was talking so much about this thing. You're talking about cosmic skeptic. I think he was just trying to find reasons to make himself feel better / justify his decision to leave veganism. He thought, I think from what people told me, he thought he was doing it for some kind of moral reasons, and he was trying to find some ways to poke holes in like a moral view of veganism or something like that. That's my guess. Again, don't, if I'm wrong, don't shoot me. I've never watched his content. I'm just going by what people who know much more about his content have told me, and I'm reporting it back. And if I'm wrong, don't kill me. It's not the end of the world. Heidi's here. How's it going, Heidi? Welcome. Sarah, you took a whole semester class on Plato versus Nietzsche. Well, maybe you told me that a long time ago, because that's so weird, because pretty much in no philosophy course, unless you're covering the entire history of philosophy, would you ever study philosophers from those two very distinct time periods. They don't even have much overlap as far as like general philosophy, like say like metaphysics or epistemology or ethics or something like that. At least I don't think so, but that's cool. You probably had a teacher, you told me, right, that wanted to like compare, contrast, or something like that. So that's cool. I mean, you got a nice dose of ancient Greek philosophy. That's the origins of philosophy. Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, and Nietzsche going into the 1800 European continental from the 1900s, I should say. No, 1800s. The mind fart there, brain fart. But anyway, that's cool. You got a nice span of philosophical eras there. Let's see. Favorite restaurant, vegan restaurant in SoCal? I don't know if I have one, Leonardo. I just go to all different places, and I don't know if I have a favorite, to be honest with you. But something you might want to check out in Cerritos or in the San Fernando Valley. There's two of them. Vin Loy Tofu. I always go to the Cerritos one because it's way closer to me here. But there's one in like Reseda, somewhere out in the valley. Vin Loy out there. Yeah, it's called Vin Loy Tofu, but the dishes aren't all tofu. It's just really good, like, Asian vegan food. Delicious, well-made, high-end. And the people that run them, especially, I mean, I can only speak for the Cerritos one. Really cool, nice, sweet people. Great people. And yeah, guy's like a marathon runner. Hey, Dinah's Bananas. What's up? Okay, so Sarah, as I guess, yeah, studying Plato and Nietzsche in the same class, totally very not normal. Yeah, it's a very specific class, and the teacher had, I'm sure, yeah, some kind of agenda or something like that for sure, and nothing wrong with that. That's cool. A teacher found some kind of way to present Plato and Nietzsche together. Awesome, totally cool. I mean, you got a unique philosophy course there covering, 2,000 plus years of philosophy in between the two. So that's really cool. Yeah, Nikki. Critical reasoning classes are awesome. I wish that was something that was, logic and or critical thinking classes were sort of like part of general education. Like they are. I know. Like when I took it, the basic one, it was fulfilled a general education requirement. But I wish everyone like had to take it. There are other classes you could have taken to fulfill that, but I just took a basic logic class because why not? Yeah. Yeah, VLAM. Yeah, the Vin Loy Cerritos owner is a marathon runner. I got to tell him he's a bad vegan because he has to consume a whole ton of unnecessary calories, therefore inflicting unnecessary harm on animals, which makes them some kind of bad, immoral, or No, he has to be condemned for that. That was the exact wording of Cosmic Skeptic. We need to condemn, or vegan bodybuilders need to be condemned. So yeah, marathon runners for the same exact reasoning also need to be condemned for the excess calorie thing. Uncle, yes, we're so concerned about you, Uncle, last week. Yeah, remember you told us on a previous live stream that you're going to Texas. I just didn't put together when, or that you'd probably be gone on Friday. It all made sense when Angie told me. I think she texted you, right, just to make sure you knew, because we did premiere a video right before the live stream. I mean, I could have confused people. I don't know, because we don't do that too often. We premiered it at 5:45, then the live stream at 6. So yeah, sorry I missed you last Friday. I was in Texas and didn't have enough good bandwidth. Oh, that's too bad, Uncle. But yeah, you're on vacation, right? You have family and stuff out there, so that's cool. I mean, even we're family. Uncle is really truly family. Angie's uncle, so it's all good. Let's see. Is that a joke about critical thinking, Travis? I'm not sure I wrap my head around that. You saw the video too. Awesome, awesome. Live mercifully. There's hardly any vegan restaurants in Central California. Yeah, I've driven through Central California, like Bakersfield, Kern County, that sort of stuff. Yeah, doesn't sound like those are great places to be vegan or anything. Yeah, typically, yeah, rural areas, anywhere in the country, not just California, are not your best shots for veganism. There might be a few exceptions here and there, but yeah. Yeah, you must live in a place with tons of amazing restaurants. Yeah, the San Francisco Bay Area, San Francisco, Oakland, and then even Sarah and I have been talking, even though like Marin County may not have any true vegan restaurants, it seems like a good proportion of the restaurants there have like, you know, clearly labeled vegan items, vegan menus. So yeah, you just kind of need to be typically around more of a population center. And if you're in a rural area, it has to be kind of a trendy hippie rural area, maybe like Sedona or something like that, you know. Yeah, it is a shame, Sarah, but I tell you, I've been looking on Yelp and yeah, finding, yeah, even though Marin has 0 pure vegan restaurants and Happy Cow, I think if I ended up living there in the future, I think would be fine, you know. And if we need to go to full-on vegan restaurants, yeah, San Francisco is just a hop, skip, and a jump away. Same with Oakland. So I think, yeah, I think I'd be cool. I think I'll be okay there. Oh, you got a ghost fed? You got to snooze? Hey, we all got to do what we got to do. I'm pretty chill today, too. Of course, I went to the gym on the basketball court for about 2 hours. I didn't play any games, so I'm not exhausted from that, but I did a lot of hard work on the court. Did my jumping practice, and I did everything except play games, basically, today. Sarah, curious what vegan options I found. You do have a fave dishes to get in a couple places. Okay, off the top of my head, Sarah, I didn't write them all down. I remember Angie and I just sitting on the couches a few times looking at restaurants in that whole San Rafael, San Anselmo, Fairfax stretch there, and we're finding places that, not all of them, but you know, we just kind of click on them and then go to Yelp and search the word vegan and see what people say, or sometimes go to their websites and see what they have on the menus. Yeah, and we're finding lots of stuff, you know. I would let you know if it looked depressing, but yeah, it looks like we'll be fine. You know, it sounds like no restaurant wants to commit to vegan only menus, but you know, a lot of them understand there's a lot of people into that sort of thing. You know, it's Northern California, right? You know, so anyway, yeah, I should start keeping a list. But I know if I ever move up that way, things will be different, you know, by then. So, but I'm just kind of trying to just case out the joint, get a feel for what's going on. It seems cool, yeah. You know, I'll miss going to places like drive-through vegan places, like say plant-powered fast food, which we have here in our city. We're, you know, not able to do that anymore, but it's cool. Wow, you going to California, Johnny Bravo? Awesome! Wow, what's coming out here? Pleasure, or is it work related? Yeah, sure. Like I was saying about these people gaslighting VLAM and me in the comments of yesterday's video about Cosmic Skeptic. His fans are trying to gaslight, say no, he wasn't talking about veganism when he says his principle that it's always wrong to inflict unnecessary harm on animals, that's not about veganism, then why is the conclusion of that principle that vegan bodybuilders are to be condemned? Like, if that principle had nothing to do with veganism, why should vegan bodybuilders be part of this conclusion of his? Exactly, Charlotte. Of course he's talking about veganism. He's talking, if anything, though, he should have made it clear. If that's the belief he had in his mind, he should have made that painfully clear. Because if I couldn't figure that out, I'm sure, pretty much no one else got that except for his most hardcore fans. But now Peter's telling me he's seen other people saying, yeah, vegan bodybuilders are to be blah, blah, they're bad, But yeah, he's talking about the belief he had that led him to veganism. What you said is he defined veganism as that. So it's obviously different. No, I mean, well, here's the thing. If that's the principle that led him to veganism, he should have made it say, hey, this principle I'm talking about here only applies to me. So he should have said, in my mind, I should condemn vegan bodybuilders. But that's not what he said. In fact, let's go check out his exact words here, because I knew people were going to bring this up. So let me wind it back a second here. Here's his exact words. And if he was just talking about himself, why is he saying we should condemn vegan bodybuilders? He should say I should, because I'm the one came up with this weird idea of what veganism is. He's making it sound like this is some kind of general principle that vegans follow, which it's simply not obvious that's the case. Anyway, here's what's going on. Be no moral quandary for vegan bodybuilders.
What I'm trying to say is that the principle that causing unnecessary harm and suffering to animals is always morally wrong entails the condemnation of vegan bulking bodybuilders.
No, it doesn't entail that. It might entail that he has to do that if he believes that weird principle of his, but he says it entails that. So yeah, it entails it only for him. And he never made it, he never stated, he should have said, hey, if that's what he really meant, guys, he should have said, hey, this is my personal understanding of the principle of veganism or definition of it, whatever you want to call it. And if you don't subscribe to this principle that I just played for you straight out of his mouth, then this doesn't apply to you. But he made it sound like this is something that applies to veganism. He never made the distinction, like to say, hey, this is just something I have. It's a unique Alex cosmic skeptic belief. And it only, so what follows here only applies to me. It follows that I, Alex cosmic skeptic, need to condemn vegan bodybuilders. He never said that. So that's why I'm very skeptical of these people in the comments saying he wasn't talking about veganism. Like, yes, he was talking about veganism. Maybe his own personal definition of veganism that only he believed, but he sure made it sound like it was kind of not that way. Not kind of. Made it sound like this was like some kind of general understanding that vegans have. Hey, soy latte, Sarah. Thank you. You're putting a lot of pressure on me to go. The weather's been pretty crappy. It's supposed to rain once again tomorrow, Saturday. This is going to be like the 3 out of the 4 past Saturdays have had rain. Like, this sucks. Today was like no sun today. Like, totally cloudy all day. Supposed to rain tomorrow and Sunday again. It's like, I want winter to go away, but thank you so much, Sarah. I really, maybe God will be nice and like, it'll be sunny somehow in the morning and then it'll start raining later on or something. We will see. If not, I'll put that $5 away and I'll go get one the next day when it's not crap out here. But yeah, it's going to be a soy latte, California. No, it's going to be a oat milk latte. And it's not even called that. That's what Angie said. It's basically their own custom version of a latte with oat milk. I don't understand all this stuff. Okay, Charlotte. And the point I didn't watch the entire video, so maybe I'm wrong here. He realized the point was wrong. Then why did... Okay, I mean... I guess I need to watch the rest of the video then, but he just kept philosophically going off about condemning vegan bodybuilders and basing that condemnation off this bizarre principle that I've never heard any vegan ever say in my entire life. And he made it sound like there was some kind of essential thing that vegans believe. So yeah, what point did he say that was wrong? I'll check it out. Where'd you go? was it Charlotte? Tell me what point in the video. I'll click over to it. I don't know where. It's a long video, so let me know. I'll click over and see where he said that he's wrong or the principle's wrong or something like that. The whole video was 3 minutes? No, it was not 3 minutes. It was a long video. Let me try to find it here. History. Let's see. Where is my search history? 1 second here. Let's see. Hang on, I've lost it. Hang on a second. It's a lot longer than 3 minutes. You gotta have to believe me on that. Let me go get my link to it because Peter sent it to me. I'm just going to get the link off my message from Peter. Here's Peter. Okay. Okay. Oop, we have a long ad here. Let's get past this dumb ad.
Hi, this is Mark Barton at Sandy Hook Promise in Newtown, Connecticut.
And hi, this is Nicole Hockley, also from...
Okay, as we see here, it's a 34-minute video. Even though veganism only goes for like maybe like 11, 12 minutes of it, but I didn't think I needed to watch. Like, why would he switch course at the end? But if you have a moment in the video, Charlotte, I'll be more than happy to have a look at it. So let me know if you have like a minutes and seconds, and I will have a look right now with y'all. But yeah, move through line. Trying to compare intentional killing to unintentional harm that happens in the production of plants in agriculture, which is not something that vegans are doing. It's something that agricultural businesses are doing. Just doesn't seem like a comparison that really yields much as far as like vegans doing something wrong. So anyway, yeah, I kind of agree with that, Liv Mercer. Sounds like he likes to argue and pontificate. Charlotte, no, just give me the minute and seconds. You can't send a link here in the chat, Charlotte. So if you have a minute and seconds that some part you really want me to check out in that video that I just put up there, that 34-minute video, let me know where it's at, and I'll go have a look at it with it, y'all. But yeah, you can't send me a link unless you're a moderator, which you are not. Let's see, Leah Oliver. Hey, thanks, Leah. I didn't see that super chat tip until now. Maybe I need to turn my volume up a little bit more. Did it? I don't think it played a sound. Did it? Anyway, thanks, Leah. Thanks for the super chat tip. I'll put that aside with Sarah's to get myself my oat milk latte whenever the weather clears out. Half calf. So hopefully Charlotte will come back with this part of the video that I need to see. And all right, I'm really curious to see if he changed course or something like that. But yeah, if I don't watch a whole video, it's not, I typically don't watch the entire videos of people I respond to. Just letting you know, I don't. Once I see their argument, I'm good to go. Because like 99% of the time, they don't like at the end change course and go, everything I just said was bullshit or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Did he do that? That's what I want to know. That's why I typically don't watch an entire like video. Once I got what they're saying, I grab those clips and I start responding. I don't feel like I need to watch it all the way to the end, and to spend any more time if it's pointless. But Charlotte's saying it might have not been pointless this time. So we'll take a look. Wow, Heidi. That's weird. 1 minute and 46 seconds? Okay, let me go to 146 on there, Charlotte. That seems too soon. 146 or 1146? You're really saying at 146? That seems like it'd be too soon, but I'll oblige you here. Oops.
Towards veganism changed since you last spoke about it? There have been a lot of questions about this, of course, understandably. I did recently speak on the Trigonometry podcast about this briefly, but one thing to say is that the main reason that I stopped being a vegan was a practical one. I found that I practically couldn't keep it up. And so, of course, I've thought about this philosophically, and I have ideas that I can share.
Okay, Charlotte, I didn't hear anything there. Am I missing something? Did you give me the wrong timestamp there? Yeah, he stopped being vegan because he claimed he couldn't get his nutrition out of eating plants, which I'm, again, skeptical of. So he didn't seem to at least admit to visiting any nutritionist or doctor, just something this guy who studied philosophy thinks he knows. The big words on the screen. The big words say veganism, psychedelics. Oh, the big words on the screen? Oh, let's read those big words on the screen.
On their site. Has anything about...
Yeah, these. Yeah, has anything about your stance towards veganism changed since you last spoke about it? So, again, what am I missing here? Someone's asking him what has changed. How has his thoughts about veganism evolved since he last talked about it? And now he's giving us this thing about vegan bodybuilders, right? I mean, Charlotte, help me out here. Okay, I mean, has anything about your stance? Yeah, okay, but that doesn't mean what he's saying here is your stance towards veganism. Oh, so you're saying when he gives his principle, we have to assume that it's his principle. But again, how come he didn't say that? How come he didn't make that abundantly clear? He should say, hey guys, in case you don't understand, because it's really easy to misunderstand people on the internet. So if what he said applies only to himself, you need to make that clear. Because if I didn't get that, I'm sure almost, unless you're a hardcore fan of his or something like that, pretty much no one would get that. It's not painfully obvious that what he's saying applies to himself. So that weird principle that inflicting no unnecessary harm or whatever is always wrong, whatever, he should say, this is my thing. I came up with this. I adhere to this. If you don't, totally cool. If you don't believe that as a vegan, totally cool. This is my thing. So according to my weird principle, I would have to condemn vegan bodybuilders. That was not clear in any way, shape, or form. And we're having to kind of go rewatch this with this new idea that's not painfully obvious here. Because again, how does this sound like he's talking about only himself here? Moral quandary for vegan bodybuilders.
What I'm trying to say is that the principle that causing unnecessary harm and suffering to animals is always morally wrong entails the condemnation of vegan bulking bodybuilders.
Okay, I mean, I could see what you're saying, sort of. I guess if that's his personal belief, awesome. And it only applies to his one mind, his one way, his thinking. Cool, but it's not obvious, not all obvious to a casual observer. So if he wants to be a better educator, a better philosopher, he needs to make this shit clear. Because if I can't tell, and I studied philosophy, it should be obvious. I shouldn't have to get into his mind and wonder. It has to be out there. It has to be on your paper if you're writing a paper. It has to be in your speech if you're writing a speech. It has to be painfully clear to your audience that what you're talking about applies only to you and doesn't apply to vegan bodybuilders, because he's not a vegan bodybuilder at all. So I don't know why the principle he has in his mind would apply to Nimai Delgado or Brian Turner, since they don't have that weird principle in their minds of inflicting pain on animals needlessly is always wrong. They don't have that. So why should they be a problem? They're only a problem in his mind. He didn't make that clear, Charlotte. So that's my problem with people trying to say that that he's not talking about veganism, because it's not clear at all. Just because of those all words and caps we looked at, that to me isn't proof that he's talking about only his one point of view in his mind. Okay, where are you going, Johnny? Thanks for the super chat tip there, Johnny. You're going to California for military-related things. Yeah, we got a lot of military places out here. Fort Irwin in the Mojave Desert. Well, good thing we're not having any big heat waves yet. So, yeah, at least you won't have to deal with 120-degree temperatures or anything right now. You're gonna head out for a minute. We're still talking about AC. I'm just trying to understand. this position that what he was saying in the video I showed yesterday didn't apply to anyone other than himself. I'm just not buying it because it's not clear in any way, shape, or form. You have to have someone tell you that and then go back and watch it and say, oh, maybe he means it's only himself, but he should say it. If he's a good philosopher, if he's a good educator and a good communicator, you got to make these things clear. If you're not, you're failing at your job, at your task. All right, Charlotte. I think if you watch the entire clip until the clip I took, well, I went pretty far. Let me just go one more time and see how far I went to his video. He starts at the 1 minute and 46 second part, and I went pretty far. Let's see.
Case of how
If you're thinking about getting great internet at a great price, good thinking.
YouTube, you're killing us.
how much unnecessary suffering and in what contexts we allow in order to produce our food. And I think that factory farming is well in the condemnable space. Like, there's no way that
He's still going
unnecessary
off on the
suffering
same thing
can be
here.
justified to produce the food that we eat. However, this consideration of vegan bodybuilders made me realize I'm unable to say as a principle that unnecessary infliction of suffering is always wrong, unless of course you want to condemn vegan bodybuilders. I have also heard people make the argument that when it comes to crop deaths, we're essentially protecting our property. That is, we have our crops, we need them to...
Okay, so is he saying that his principle, that his definition of veganism, his principle is wrong? Okay, cool. All right. Maybe I misunderstood him. Perhaps I'll have to watch that again. That was really quick. He should have said, "So in conclusion, here's what I've come to conclude." He just kind of went there quickly. All right. So again, I'm not. The other thing I'm trying to understand, Charlotte, why does he bring up this principle in the first place about veganism? Because I've never heard anyone describe veganism / define veganism in that unique, particular way. Maybe he should have said my principle kind of sucks. I mean, my principle's no good, and maybe I should have another principle / definition of veganism. That would have been a great way to conclude. What do you think about that, Charlotte? You should have said, yeah, my principle is flawed if I'm condemning vegan bodybuilders, and maybe I should discard it and maybe just listen to what Ryan and others say. Just have a basic definition of veganism about being against animal cruelty and exploitation. Then you wouldn't have to condemn Brian Turner and Nimai Delgado. What do you think of that suggestion, Charlotte? Hey, Dr. Bear's here. Vegans are allowed to do things that normal humans do. Exactly. We aren't required to deny ourselves things like, say, bodybuilding or eating ice cream or anything like that. And any moral principle or definition, whatever you want to call it, Charlotte and others, whatever you want to call it, any definition of veganism or any moral principle of veganism that leads to a conclusion that vegan bodybuilders are to be condemned or overweight vegans are to be condemned, there's something wrong with that principle. And Charlotte, let me backtrack to let you know how I didn't fully understand, and I'm still not sure. I'm not sure if I'm 100% by it, that he was talking just about his own unique mind and not having other vegans need to adhere to that principle. Bottom line is, people are taking him at his word, though, Charlotte. My moderator, Peter, told me that he's seeing more and more vegans now, or I assume they're vegans. I don't know who he said they were. Maybe we'll get him on tonight. He said he's seen more and more people saying that vegan bodybuilders are problematic. And just on this live stream 2 weeks ago, who was it? I think it was Caught in the Matrix, who hasn't come back since then. He was saying the same thing. So whether or not Alex, is that his name, meant to have his principle be only about himself, it seems like others are taking it as a principle that applies to more than just Alex, Cosmic Skeptic. So that's the whole problem about him making a video like this and not being clear that it's something only about him, unique to him, is in the fact that since it's not clear, I didn't get it. And like I said, the vast majority of viewers didn't get it either. And a lot of people like what he had to say. And I'm seeing now people condemning vegan bodybuilders and overweight vegans. So maybe Alex needs to make another video and clarify this, because it's not clear to me and it's not clear to these people who are being a-holes to bodybuilders and overweight people. I don't know if it's a jealousy thing, Johnny. I doubt it. I think he just wanted to have some controversial thing to wax on philosophically about. What's Angie doing now, Uncle? Probably watching one of her favorite Korean shows that comes out like late Thursday or early Friday. So I think I hear her rocking it right now. Yeah, Jesse, good point. What's the ratio of vegan bodybuilders to non-vegan bodybuilders? And Brian Turner, a vegan bodybuilder, popped up in my comments yesterday and said, hey, lifters are going to lift. Vegan lifters are going to lift. Vegan bodybuilders are going to bodybuild. But at least they're causing way less animal cruelty and exploitation by virtue of them eating plants instead of meat, dairy, cheese, eggs, all that stuff. So anyway, what's that, Uncle? Tell Angie you made a squirrel friend in the grounds around the Texas Capitol building. I'll send her the photo. Awesome. So what's your philosophy here, Dr. Bear? You think he's making post hoc justifications to feel better about the fact he chose to go back to eat? Yeah, maybe that's why he made those comments, that principle, and talked all about it. So anyway, what's that, VLAM? Wouldn't it be more useful to objectively look at the harm we're causing? However, we live then having nebulous discussions. Yeah, these nebulous discussions don't go anywhere. All they do is get people confused, as it may have done me, perhaps. I'm not saying for sure, but it definitely confused others because, like I said, we're seeing more people online talking about how vegan bodybuilders are wrong or to be condemned, and overweight vegans as well. So he may have started it, and whether intentional or not, others have bought into it and are repeating what he said, but they're not applying it to themselves. They're applying these principles that Alex has laid out about, excess calories, killing animals. We see people now saying the same thing and condemning overweight vegans. So I don't think his principle that he's waxing on about in that video is doing any shit good. It's actually, causing people to be a-holes to other people. What's that, Sarah? You need to Google R8 roller. No, I'm not talking about an Audi R8. What are you talking about there, Sarah? Huh? Let me know. Is that one of those rollers you use, like for muscle recovery, that sort of thing? I remember you sent me some links to some stuff on Amazon a while ago, including a snow plow blower thingy. I didn't realize they were like so expensive and huge. I thought it'd just be like a little leaf, like my electric leaf blower. No, it's like an imposing machine. That's cool, Alex. Charlotte said he's been pretty clear. I don't think he was clear. Again, I didn't understand what he was getting at, and many other people didn't, because I see them now complaining about overweight vegans. So I don't think Alex did a fantastic job. If we have to give him a grade of A to F on as far as the clarity of what he said, meaning his words only applied to himself only and didn't, and other people should not take what he said literally and use it themselves to generalize about other people. That was not clear. That was not clear at all. Because I see people now generalizing about overweight vegans and bodybuilding vegans. Yeah, that's what I learned, Sarah. Real deal snowblowers are nothing like leaf blowers. Like, I don't know. You're talking to a guy who's never lived in snow. I don't know. Okay, it was a body roller there. Yeah, I know they're good. I've seen a lot of people praise them over the years. I just have never bothered. Let's see. What's up, Dr. Bear? There are reasons why you wouldn't want your husband, Mr. Bear, to be a bodybuilder, but it has nothing to do with bodybuilding not being vegan or not, a perfect vegan kind of thing. Joseph, if you're overweight, then you can't be vegan, according to non-vegans? No, but according to people that follow that cosmic skeptic line of reasoning, there might be some kind of moral quandary. But then now Charlotte's telling me he doesn't believe that. So I'm not sure. But all I know is now there are people beyond him who believe what he said and are repeating the same kind of thing. That, overweight vegans bad, muscle-bound vegans bad. that's good, Sarah. I need some like recovery tricks too, you know. Just sometimes when I go to the gym, I'm 56, you know. Sometimes I just feel tired, you know. I thought today was gonna be one of those days. I go, oh man, like I'm like half an hour into my warming up. I go, oh, I just not feeling it today, you know. But I remember it used to be like that when I was a runner 5, 6, 7 years ago. Sometimes it takes half an hour for your body to kind of snap out of it and just like, all right, I'm ready now. Let's start kicking ass, you know. Hey, if you can just start kicking ass after a few minutes of warm up, assuming you even warm up, good for you. But I probably started feeling like myself, like how I normally want to feel when I'm on the basketball court, probably like, you know, after like 35, 40 minutes or so. Wow, that's a nice praise for a foam roller there, Heidi. It was Dr. Bear reminds you of unnatural vegan, something we haven't talked about for a while. Fear mongering that people shouldn't raise their kids vegan, even if they gave lip service. These messages overall are harmful to animals. Wow, she's saying you shouldn't raise. Why couldn't you raise your kids vegan? Like, was it a philosophical reason, Dr. Bear, or was it a health reason? Because if it's a health reason, you guys have seen me show like a billion times the various health organizations who have said, after reviewing the relevant research, said that it is okay to feed your young ones vegan, raise them eating plants only. So I wonder what her objection was. Yeah, Deem Stars. Yeah, now we can all say if we don't want to be bodybuilders and get swole, we can say, hey, I'm saving animals by not getting swole. Johnny Bravo, just take steroids, guaranteed I'll recover fast. No, I know there's some miracles and you know, chemistry there, but I know there's a dark side, a negative side to it too. There's pluses and there's definite minuses, negatives, and I don't think I want to go down those roads. I mean, I'm not that serious about like my basketball and stuff, you know, that I want to like take drugs and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's just something I'm doing to be healthy, have fun, move around, stay active, you know, keep my weight and everything going good, you know, but I don't want to take drugs for it. That just sounds like way too much. Let's see. Okay, UV says most people don't know enough about nutrition to safely raise their children vegan. Well, how about all the people, the meat eaters that don't know jack shit about nutrition and they raise their kids on like McDonald's and junk food? I mean, how come vegan parents, it's incumbent upon vegan parents to be like super knowledgeable in nutrition while your meat eating parent doesn't have to know anything and McDonald's is okay? I mean, it's just weird how when you're a vegan, you have to know all these extra, it's like, you know, it's like there's all these extra things that vegans can or can't do. You can't raise your kids vegan unless you're really super smart at nutrition, which non-vegans don't have to be. But nutritional problems can affect people, vegan or non-vegan, if you're not eating properly. I'm not sure why vegans are the ones that have to guard against nutrition deficiencies when it can easily happen from eating in an unhealthy non-vegan diet. Weird. Yeah, Diddle. Hey, Diddle. Yeah, the double standards against vegans are so annoying. Yeah, another one. Just another one there. It's weird. It's so hard to be vegan. Someone needs to make the rule book. Seriously, there's so many things. Don't bodybuild. Don't have vegan children. Don't eat soy. We saw that the other week with Dr. Barry and that lady, I forgot her name. You know, all these things that vegans can't do, you know. And we saw that TikTok beef lady. Vegans can't drive cars because of their tires, and vegans, there's all these things we can't do. I mean, who's going to compile the list of all the things that vegans shouldn't do, we're not permitted to do, and if we do it, we break our oath of zero harm that we never took. Yeah, Allison, it's literally the fault of non-vegans that vegan isn't more accessible. Absolutely. I mean, it's all of us, all as taxpayers that subsidize non-vegan food, that subsidize the meat, dairy, and egg industries, that drive their prices down and make plants comparatively more expensive. So anyway, what's that, Dr. Bear? Whether you're raising your kids vegan or non-vegan, you still need to make sure your kids are getting enough nutrients. Exactly. I'm not sure why vegan parents, they're the ones that have to worry. But yeah, the McDonald's parents, no, don't have to worry about Jack. Just take them there, get the Happy Meal, you're cool. Well, if you had to take a test to have kids, and you failed, what would happen to your kid if you already had a baby, you know? Let's see. What's that? Gyre H guy? You follow Unnatural Vegan? Wow. And that doesn't sound like something she has said. They don't believe you? I wish Peter was here because he has a photographic memory, it seems. Now I remember people have talked about that before, guys. So if anyone wants to add support to this claim of a natural vegan saying not recommending parents raise their kids vegan, let me know the title and I'll paste the link. Yeah, Charlotte, thanks for bringing up your points there. Thank you. I'll watch what he said again at the end of his vegan rant there. Let's see, Gyre H guy. All right, cool. We'll see if someone could bring a link to support what they said there about that. But I tend to believe it because this is not the first time this has been brought up in one of my live streams. And I remember someone showing me this before. I thought Peter did. So anyway, Peter's not here, but let's see if Dr. Bear. Okay, so Dr. Bear is clarifying that she hasn't made a blanket claim that nobody's kids should be vegan, but she definitely said most people, like the majority of people, over 50%, shouldn't raise their kids vegan. Why? Because they don't know enough about nutrition, the parents. Yeah, Allison, yeah, all these things we can't do. That's why I say it's a second-class citizen thing. There's so many things that vegans are either not allowed to do, or if we do them, we should be condemned because we're being hypocritical or something like that. Yeah, I mean, I've met tons of vegan families over the years, going out to all these vegan festivals, meeting our friends and followers at our meetups that we used to have, the Fruit Lux and all that stuff. I've seen tons of beautiful, healthy vegan kids. This idea that it's super hard and you have to have like advanced knowledge of nutrition in order to do it, or else your kid's going to be sick. I'm extremely skeptical of such a claim. I'm not saying that, yeah, just feed them anything and they'll be fine, but that's true for a non-vegan as well. And either way, raise your kids responsibly, feed them nutritious foods, and that should be true for vegans as well. Well, Bob, you're about freedom finally, huh? Vegans should be free to do what they want. Yeah, well, we should be able to live more or less normal lives. We shouldn't have to quit our jobs or not be able to run on trails or bodybuild or, be overweight or underweight, whatever, It's your life. As long as you're not exploiting animals, not being cruel to animals, you pretty much, that's all you got to do. You don't have to be perfect. If your car has tires that aren't vegan, you're still vegan. You haven't done anything wrong. If you're a wealthy vegan, yeah, if you can afford it, yeah, go buy those Michelin tires that cost way more, like double or triple other tires. And yeah, get the vegan ones. Totally cool if you can afford it. But if you're struggling every day to get to work, your tires are going to get you there. And you might not be able to just splurge for $1,000 for new tires. Yeah, V-Lamb. Yeah, it sounds. Yeah, if most people shouldn't raise their kids vegan, it's like she thinks most people are incompetent, right? If she says most people don't have the nutritional knowledge to raise their kids vegan, well, it would stand that most people don't have the knowledge to feed their own selves a properly healthy, nutritionally adequate vegan diet. So anyway, what's that, Sarah? Veganism was gradual for you. Yeah, me too. I didn't go vegan overnight. And when I finally went vegan, I went vegan in an instant. But it took me a while. I was dabbling, and finally one day I said, "Why am I dabbling? I'm just going to do this. You know, why do I want to dabble with animal cruelty and exploitation? Just get rid of it." Yeah, you didn't dive in. You started excluding animals without really thinking about it. Then your convictions cemented over time. Let's see. Now Bob's saying vegans aren't free to eat lab-grown meat or support it. Wow, where did this law come from, Bob? Is there something you know that I don't know? I know there's different ways that lab-grown meat can get. I'm not a biochemist started. There's ways one way that involves taking something from an animal, their serum, and there are ways that don't involve animal serum. So if it's from the latter, no animal serum required, I don't see any ethical problems. I don't see any exploitative issue there. So assuming it comes from a non-animal serum source, what's the non-veganness of lab-grown meat? Just kind of curious, Bob. I don't plan to eat lab-grown meat, but I don't see the ethical problem with animal serum-free lab-grown meat. William Shanks, awesome. You're making some barbecue seitan right now. Sounds good. Yeah, Uncle, it's so true. Yeah, whole food plant-based diet isn't that hard. You know, there's so many plants you can eat, you know. Eat lots of different veggies, legumes, fruits, nuts, whole grains, beans. Exactly. Just go to the produce aisle and you'll see there's a whole bunch of stuff. And then once you're done with that, you can go to the dried food aisle, like where the beans and stuff are. There's so many things you can eat. Yeah, we were pretty plant-based for a while too, given the fact that when I met Angie in 1998, she was vegetarian. So, you know, she was making all the meals here. So I was pretty much a vegetarian too for like, 10 plus years before I went vegan. Yeah, good point, V-Lamb, huh? How hard is plant-based eating compared to like omnivorous eating exactly? Good question, huh? Yeah, Jesse, just take a B12 supplement if you haven't already. Your doctor gave you a good lecture there, it sounds like. Just take a B12 supplement or have a multivitamin that has B12. Whatever, just don't like try to wing it on the B12. Take something. My favorite rice, the three kinds that we keep in our house at all times are brown basmati, short grain brown rice, and some white jasmine rice. So not to say those are our favorite. Oh, we also have a wild rice mix, and it's just a pure wild rice, non-blend, just black wild rice as well. So we usually keep those 5 in the house. Is black rice crunchy? We put that often in our Tuscan kale pilaf. I mean, once you cook it, it seems to have the same texture more or less as any other rice. You just want to cook it properly. Let's see. Okay, Ali, yeah, you're listening to your doctor there. You had too much in your blood panel. Awesome. Well, how often do you go to your doctor, Ali? Because your doctor it sounds like your doctor gave you some good advice there, but if you don't see your doctor again for like 3 years, your B12 could be low by that 3-year time. So if you're going on every 6 to 12 or 18 months even, probably fine. You're probably cool, but I wouldn't say again, I'm not a doctor, but I wouldn't like take his or her advice to heart without having another blood panel and within 2 years, 3 years max. As far as if you're not going to take B12. Heidi, you love jasmine rice too? Yeah, it's our favorite white rice. What's that, William? People assume veganism is restricting your diet. No. Since you've been vegan, you're eating 20 to 30 more plant foods than you would have ever tried. Exactly. In fact, it could be looked at as an expansive diet. Since you're not eating animal products, you're more interested in all the varieties of plants that are in the supermarket that you've probably not been eating at all or not much of. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like when you go vegan, you start eating a wider variety of foods typically. It's not a restrictive diet. What's so special about black rice? I'm not here to say there's anything special at all about it. What's cool about black rice, the one, at least here in the United States, it's grown like in lakes in Minnesota or something like that, and has a different nutrient profile than like, say, like the other rices I mentioned. And it has a nice flavor. That's probably our most, the thing we like most about it. I mean, the other stuff's great too, the way it's produced, the nutrients, but yeah, I like the flavor of it. It goes really well with the Tuscan kale pilaf dish that we make pretty much weekly. No, I don't eat hemp hearts, Nikki. Do you? What's that, Johnny Bravo, about your B12 supplement? It had like some insanely high percentage. Probably not a bad thing. It's really hard to like take too much B12. Yeah, Sarah, yeah, mixing rice. That we have a wild rice mix blend that mixes black and some brown and maybe a little bit of white rice too. I forgot exactly what's in that. But it's a nice rice to mix. But we do usually have a little bag of just pure black rice too sometimes. I mean, for some meal preps that, you know, that Angie makes. Green Planet, anyone have any advice on losing weight as a vegan? I want to say we're not a weight loss channel. Veganism is not about losing weight. So the principles of weight loss would not really be too much different as a vegan versus non-vegan. Basically having a deficit of calories, meaning fewer calories, consuming fewer calories in a day than what your body burns or uses via basic metabolism and exercise. So you can exercise more, or you could eat a little less, or you could do a combination of the two. So if that's what your goal, if that's what your goal is, that's the direction to head in. I'm not recommending like people lose weight or anything like that, but if you need to lose weight, that's it. It's not like a bunch of magic or anything like that. More exercise can help you with the calories that you have. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I don't want to repeat it again. Hopefully you got it there. Yeah, Allison, yeah. You can eat less calories, but still eat the same volume. Same. Yeah, that's a good point. Typically, depends what you're eating, but typically plants are less calorically dense than animal product-based foods. So if that's true in the foods that you're selecting as a vegan diet, you can pretty much eat the same amount of food as far as satiety goes, same volume, but consume fewer calories. So that's why there are people who, when they go on a plant-based diet, they, without even trying, they lose weight just by that fact alone. They eat the same volume, but it's less calorically dense than compared to what they were eating before a plant-based diet. Wow, you're getting acne from your B12? Wow, you must have got some crazy B12 there. Wow. Well, what do you say, JR guy? Unless you're active all day, it's hard to burn off a significant number of calories. Well, it's not necessarily being active all day. It's being consistent throughout the week, throughout the month. Like, say, today at the gym, I burnt through, let me tell you how many calories I burnt through today. I think it was around 800 or 900. Let me pull it up really quickly here. Let's see. Where's my workout? Damn it. Why am I not understanding this today? What am I missing here? Looks like... That doesn't make sense. I have the wrong. I think it was at 800 or 900 calories. Anyway, if you're consistent in your workouts, that's what adds up. It's not just like going one day and going hard or something like that and then being exhausted the rest of the week. I've done that many times, by the way. It's being consistent, having a routine that you stick to, trying to get some calories burnt throughout the week, like almost on a daily basis. Maybe go to the gym one day, walk the other day, run something the other day, swim, or go to the gym again. Just being active, being consistent. If you add that all up, say you're burning 300 to 400 calories a day, say it's just 300, times that by 7 days, that's over 2,000 calories. You could easily get over 3,000 calories burnt off. So it's being consistent. To do that all in one day, I've burnt 2,000 calories in a day. You guys remember I went to the gym a few weeks ago and I what was it, like 18 or 1,900 calories, close to 2,000. It can be done, but that's not the way to do it. It's to be consistent throughout, just being consistent rather than just going hard one day. Yeah, just be consistent, J Arch guy. That's what you got to just be consistent. Don't think that one day of exercise is going to do it. You don't need to burn 800 calories a day or anything like that. My workout today was pretty much 2 hours. Let me find it. I think I'm in the wrong app here. Let me go to the health app. I went to the one where it shows that your ring's closed. All right, here is my workout from today. Yeah, I've been kind of lazy this week, but today's, where's the basketball workout? This sucks. Why am I having so much trouble today? Here's my basketball workout. Duh, I'm stupid. Okay, so I'm going to try to get it where it's in focus so we can see it without it being too blurry. Let me know if you can read this or not. But what I worked out, I was on the basketball court for a little over 2 hours, 2 hours and 7 minutes, and 870 active calories, and I went through a total of 1,100 calories. Can you see that? That's today's basketball workout. Again, I didn't play any games today. I just did a bunch of shooting, a bunch of drills, and I did my jumping workouts, which really just beat the hell out of me. But can you, not readable? Let me see if I go back further. Does that help out? Does that help out, guys? Let me know if that helps out, if you can see it from further back. I think I can see it better in the screen. But anyway, I'm trying to be as transparent with you guys here. I'm trying to make it so you guys can see it. That's what I did today. About a 2 hour, too blurry. You're going to have to take my word for it there. I guess you could maybe, it's too small. I don't have a way to show you any better. If I get up closer, I'll get up close, but I'll show you. It'll be super blurry. Let me try one more time. What the hell? Where's it going now? Okay, I'm going to try to zoom in, but it's going to get really blurry. See, it's getting blurry now, right? So you can't see it. That's what happens when you have this narrow depth of focus in my photography or my videography. But anyway. Well, that's really good, Vegan Heretic. 90 minutes a day on average in the gym for you, and it's usually 500 to 600 calories unless it's a cardio day. Yeah, good for you. That's it, that kind of consistency, something like that. That's awesome. I usually only exercise when I'm here at home in my home gym, about like 30 to 45 minutes, typically, something like that. So it's like 150 to 200 odd calories. But when I go to the gym, that's when I go crazy, and I'll be there like today, like 2 hours, and I could go from like 900, burn through like 900 to like almost 2,000 calories sometimes. Hey, Nothingness, thank you so much for your super chat tip. Much appreciated. So let me see your question here. Ryan, do I take probiotics? No, I really don't. What about anti-aging supplements like AKG? I never heard of AKG other than a German microphone brand. I have some AKG stuff here. NMN, resveratrol, etc. No, I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. The only thing I do that's kind of anti-aging is a skin moisturizer sunscreen that I put on my face. It's like 30 SPF. It makes your skin a little softer. I mean, I live in a desert, right? For God's sake, Southern California is a pretty dry place typically. So yeah, it makes your skin a little softer, and it gives you 30 SPF. So I don't wear it all the time. Like in the winter time this year, I was kind of lazy about it, unless I knew I was going to be out in the sun all day. But yeah, now that we're past the the spring equinox, yeah, now pretty much I'll try to get in the habit of remembering to put it on every morning. So when I go out, because the UV rays on your sun, the sun's UV rays hitting your face skin, I mean, that's why a lot of surfers look so toe up, and like runners and cyclists, if they're not protecting their skin. It's starting to happen to me too. So I just trying to take some preemptive measures here to help that out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The super chat notification didn't show up. Let me try something here. Let me do a test here. Let's see if this happens. Yeah, that should have showed up. I'm sorry, nothingness. That didn't happen. I apologize. There's nothing I can do. I can't make it happen again. Let me see if I can click your super chat and make it happen again for some reason. Give it a shot. No, I can't. I'm just seeing if there's anything I can do to give it a second go through there. I'm so sorry I didn't do anything there. Oh, there it is right now, huh? Oh, it was delayed. I've seen this happen before. Did it read it? Oh no, it won't read it if you leave the super chat on YouTube. You have to go to that link I pasted up there. But put it on the screen, right? It just did it a little late, right? Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it does it. I don't know why it does it. It delays it. It's like the software gets slow or confused or something like that. I don't think it's on my end. I'm on a super fast computer, and so it runs like this. This super chat thing runs on a cloud service, so maybe they're slow. Awesome. I'm glad it came up finally. So now we know, like an hour into the stream, the super chat notifications tend to be a little slow. Maybe it's because they're vegan, right? The super chat cloud is like vegan and deficient. So hopefully I answered your question to your satisfaction there. Nothingness. Yeah, no probiotics and no anti-aging things other than just wearing some sunscreen in the non-winter months. Diablo, 40 degrees. You're in Thailand right now? Oh my God. Wow. 4 degrees Celsius. Yeah, it's cold here, man. You guys, let me share with you what the temperature is right now where I'm at. It is, remember, I'm in California. You guys think it's sunny. You see the Rose Parade, the sun's out and all that stuff in January. It's 60. The high today was 60 and all cloudy. It's only dropped 2 degrees from 62. It's 60 right now, and it's going to rain tomorrow. And what's the chance of rain tomorrow? 45% chance of rain tomorrow, 35% on Sunday. So it's quite cool, quite wintry like still. And fortunately, we had a nice break in the middle of this week. You probably got it too, right, Sarah? I thought it was I know it hit Northern California. Hopefully, you got it there in Oregon too. But it was nice. I saw some bits on some spots on the news of people going to the beach in San Francisco and Sausalito, Marin County, in Northern California. It was nice. It was like 80-ish degrees almost out here. So that was a nice couple days. But yeah, 6 degrees in Hermosa too, Uncle. You know what's going on. It's kind of wintry. No, not in Celsius, Diablo. So 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So let me convert that to, what is 60 degrees Fahrenheit in Celsius? That's 15 degrees, 15.56 degrees Celsius, Diablo. So no, we're not like boiling to death here or anything like that. Well, I'm missing some discussion there from Potterhead. I see him talking to, I assume it's a he, forgive me if I'm wrong. No, she's just extremely vehement against going vegan herself. She used to be your support worker and did a lot of things that she knew increasingly upset me and was ultra defensive of your feelings. Huh, interesting. I wish I saw the whole thing. What's the most comfy temperatures, VLAM? Well, it's probably going to be different depending on where in the world you're at, because you're in the tropics and it's really humid out there, right? So for here, in a more mid subtropical latitude, 72 degrees. Yeah, Uncle, you read my mind. 72 is perfect. I always say if it's 72, there's pretty much nothing you can't do here outdoors. You can go surfing, you if you like golf, you can play golf and have a great day. You play tennis. I like, outdoor stuff like that. You go hiking, go running. 72 is like the perfect outdoor weather. Not too hot, not too cold. Yeah, about a half an inch of rain expected here tomorrow too, Uncle. Sucks. I just want this whole winter to end. It's been so wet. Last year was like one of the wettest California rain seasons ever, and this year is above average too. I miss the drought. It's just 2 years in a row of all this extra rain. It's like so depressing. The drought was so fun. I loved going out in January, February, and it's nice and sunny and not raining. It was like Hawaii, but not tropical. It was great. I don't need to live in Hawaii. I saw a bunch of vegans and friends moving there. Like, screw them. I'm just going to stay here. It's perfect out here. But, the good old days of the drought. Yeah, Sarah. Yeah, I know Sarah has a different approach too. A nice cloudy 55 degrees day. And yeah, I bet you get a lot of that right now, huh? And that's why certain parts of Northern California, they kind of are all kind of foggy and romantic and cloudy like that. I like that too. I love overcast. I like overcast that burns off. And that's really typical here on most of the California coast. Especially in the summertime, summer and fall, you get overcast mornings, burns off. Depends, 9, 10, 11, usually by noon, then it's sunny and nice day. That's a typical pattern. I like that. I like that change of the weather throughout the day there. Now, El Nino, exactly, Uncle. That's what brought us all this rain this year. Last year, it wasn't El Nino or anything. Just all hell broke loose. The jet stream is pointed at as strange, just aimed right at California for like 2 months. But El Nino kind of did the same thing this year too. Saying La Nina is shaping up for this fall and next winter, which are typically cooler, but not as rainy. So we'll see what happens. Let's see, William, your story, your funny story. Your sister only wants to be, quote, vegan for her health. Only if and when she gets to LA and eats at a vegan restaurant. And no consideration for ethics. You don't have to wait for a restaurant. I mean, she wants get her our book, William. Get the Happy Healthy Vegan cookbook. Show her how easy and simple it is to be vegan. You don't need to wait to go to a Los Angeles restaurant. And hell, we're almost like a Los Angeles restaurant. Tell her these recipes were made in LA, tested in Los Angeles, so it's the closest she'll ever get to going to a vegan restaurant in LA without having to actually go to Los Angeles. Jen, I forgot where you're at again, Jen. You're in Southern California too. It's overcast and damp out here too. Sounds like out here. Sarah, there's lots of rain in Marin. I know what the weather patterns are out there. The base of Mount Tamalpais and all that. Yeah, I saw. It's like San Francisco for the most part. It's maybe a hair more because it's just slightly further north of the city. But yeah, I'm ready for it. To have all that beautiful nature, Sarah. I can live with that rain. Knowing that when it clears up, you have all these great places you can go to. Like here, when it clears up, there's only a handful of okay places you can go to. If you want to go to a really beautiful spot in nature here, you're driving, Sarah. You're driving for like an hour at least. Seriously, it's just all built up here. Just houses, suburbs, mini malls. It's just too hard to get out without having making a big production. I say Moraine gets rain and wind. I don't know about the wind part that much. I guess I've never spent any winters in Marin County. I've spent some time in summer. I forgot if it was July or August, but yeah, I spent like a weekish in San Rafael and house sitting. And this was like in 1990. No, this was like in early 2000s. I go, no, this is the 90s. It was the 90s before I met Angie. And I remember, wow, I'm just saying, this is awesome. I want to live here at some point. So that's why it's on the back of my mind it's a place I'm considering. It's some pretty crazy storms and power outages. I've heard about that happening a lot. Ugh, the power outages. Don't miss those. Yeah, I see some groups on Reddit where people say, yeah, some people like to be prepared and have generators living up there. Oh, V, I forgot you lived in America before. In North Dakota in the summer, it's 60 in the morning and 100 plus when the sun comes up. Very dry though, weird, but kind of nice. That's typical of the interior portions of the continent here. Yeah, where it can be really extreme like that. That's why living by the coast here, on the West Coast particularly, is so desirable, and why the cost of living is so high. You have the ocean moderating our weather, our temperatures here. It keeps it cooler in the summer and not as cold in the wintertime, because the ocean water here doesn't really get much below like 53 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that. But the air, that just coming, just outside can be like, below that. So the ocean helps out, has like an insulation effect, sort of. Sarah, San Luis Obispo is interesting. I have considered that area as well, particularly Morro Bay and Los Osos as well. So those are on my radar too. We have Angie's favorite sister. I shouldn't say that. One of her favorite sisters lives in San Luis Obispo. You can't have a favorite sister, right? Anyway, one lives in San Luis Obispo with two awesome a niece and nephew that we totally love too. So that kind of ups the ante for San Luis Obispo. But I'd like to live a little. It gets kind of warm there. It's not really that close to the ocean, so I know Marin's not though. But you have the northern part of the bay there, kind of keeping it under control, But so yeah, I'm thinking so near San Luis Obispo could be kind of cool. It's both ways, like figuratively and literally. Monterey is hell of expensive. I love Pacific Grove. Have you anyone ever been to Pacific Grove? It's right by Monterey. How's all these cute, like typically one-story Victorians? They're really cute little Victorians, but hell of expensive. Like more so than even like Marin, for at least where I'm looking at. So it's crazy. So yeah, Monterey seems to be out of the question, unfortunately. That's kind of like the Bay Area. I'm starting to really feel the Bay Area more. Hey, Dr. Barrett. No, you didn't miss anything. We're just blabbing about just all sorts of weird, odd things. Now we're blabbing about where I might want to settle down in the future. Johnny says, wait till I come to Florida, Ron. You'll love the rain here during the summer. All it does is rain. And it's humid as hell, too, right, Johnny? Like 100% humidity, and you're just soaking in sweat and rain. That's what I understand from people I know that live in Florida. Malibu, no. Malibu's not even, no. Don't even look at Malibu. I don't think there's anything affordable in Malibu. I've been looking on Zillow, Sarah. I'm actually finding more places that fit my price limit in Marin than in Monterey, to be honest with you. I know Monterey's smaller, but yeah, I'd like to keep it cooler in Marin, the cooler parts, not too far from the bay. I think that's why I like San Rafael looks so attractive, and that's where I stayed at too back in the 90s and fell in love with the place. But no, I don't think Florida is going to happen. What about the desert? It's cheaper. Yeah, I love the mid-century modern architecture out in, like, say, Palm Springs. And the prices are a little better than, like, say, some of the bigger cities I've mentioned. But there's one word that debunks moving to Palm Springs. It's called August. There's just no way. I mean, I look at the pictures and wow, the house is so cute and everything. Built in 1955, looks like it hasn't been touched. Looks so cute. Then I remember, it's like 118 degrees in the summer there. It's just no way. When it's that hot, you can have your AC on all day and it's still hot. It's still not totally like nice or anything. So that's a no-go for me. I know other people can handle desert heat, but I have a very narrow temperature range that I function well in. But Palm Springs is lovely, and if it wasn't like 115 degrees for like 3 months of the year, I'd consider it. Hey, aloha Milo, and the Big Island's still on my list for sure. Did I see that the Ellen show that an actress had an actress that had this anti-aging face procedure called microinjection, It uses baby circumcision foreskin? Whoa, no, never heard of that. It's funny, someone asked me earlier if I have done or taken any anti-aging drugs or medications. No, or procedures. Oh, nothing. In August, you live in your pool. Yeah, you could live in your pool, but still, it's 118 out there. Oh, Fallon, you were born in Walnut Creek, Bay Area. Awesome. Moved to Southern California when you were 2, so you don't remember it too much. Yeah, I don't remember anything about my life from before 2 years old. Let's see, Sarah, you should get a tattoo on your chest that says DNR, do not resuscitate. Really? I haven't even thought about issues like that, to be honest with you. Maybe I should. I need to get a will or trust made. I figure I'm at the age now, it would be a responsible thing. Maybe that'll be a goal for this year. Hey, Nikki. What's that about vegan sunscreen people? No baby foreskin. Yeah, totally. $100 million home. Well, yeah, come to California. There's a few of those, particularly in the Malibu area. Yeah, you need to as well, Sarah, get a will or trust. Yeah, I've done a little research on it, and my mom has a trust, and I'm not giving any legal advice. I'm not an attorney or anything like that, but yeah, wills are better than nothing, but trusts are more comprehensive. They're better, especially if you're intending to leave things, money or property, whatever, to someone else. It's a little more complicated with wills. Things get like delayed, probate law and stuff like that. But yeah, if it's in a trust, it's in a trust. It's good as done, basically. So just throwing that out there for any of you guys that are like over 50 and need to start thinking about stuff like this. Or even for younger guys that have some assets. Maybe you're already wealthy or inherited some, or you have a great job and you have a house already, whatever. It's something to think about. Getting a trust. Let's see. Yeah, Dr. Bear, I'm kind of with you on that. Maybe it's too much information. I had no say in the matter when I was a baby, but my parents got me circumcised. Anyway, I agree with you 100%, Dr. Bear. In your opinion, there isn't enough evidence to justify altering a baby's body in a way they can't consent. So if I had a baby, I probably wouldn't get them circumcised just because they had no say in the matter, and it's such a big deal, and I'm sure it's a lot of pain and all that stuff. And it's not really necessary, right? But if you guys are against or for it, cool. I'm not gonna argue. I'm just telling you what I would probably do. It just it just doesn't seem like something that without consent you should do. Anyway, let's move on. Uncle, a great trust attorney in Long Beach. Cool. I'll keep that in mind, Uncle. I'm thinking about just going to the one that my mom uses, maybe, but they're kind of far, so maybe I'll keep. Okay, how good are they? Why do you recommend them, Uncle? Tell me if you don't mind, on your great trust attorney in Long Beach. So maybe I won't use my mom's one. Vegan Potterhead, could I answer your question above? Let me see if I can find it. If not, could you copy and paste it for me? I'll try my best to find your question. Not seeing it. I guess you've said a lot of stuff. I'm not seeing your comments, so if you want to re-type it in or someone could paraphrase it, that'd be helpful. VLAM, that's a tricky thing. Yeah, how would I allocate my assets in my will or whatever if I have no children or relatives to take care of? That's what we have to. Like, we do have relatives. I guess we're just figuring who's our like closest relatives, so it's like that. But it's tricky because we don't have kids. We're not going to adopt or anything like that. So it's tricky. How about you, Uncle? Have you done anything like that, huh? You're kind of like, sort of like in a situation like us, sort of. I'm probably not getting too much information. He did your trust and has been doing them for decades. Okay, he's on Palo Verde near the 405. Okay, how long ago did he do your trust? Just curious. Is he like current, active, like practicing trust attorney? Is that your attorney's specialty? It's a he. That's his specialty, a trust attorney. Wow, DBSL, circumcisions can kill too? See, is there some risks involved in circumcision? Okay, let me see. Oh, here's Potterhead's question. So let me read Vegan Potterhead's question and see if I have anything to add. I'm going to read his question verbatim. How best do I explain to my mom that I compassionately don't want anything to do with a vehement non-vegan who's an old family friend? My mom seems to want me to see her again, but there's too much pain. A vehement why do you bring non-vegan? Is this person a vehement like anti-vegan, or just bring up non-vegan as like why do you dislike this person? I'm just kind of curious. Do you have a thing just because she's a hateful person, or hateful about you being vegan? Yeah, just let me know so I can understand. I kind of see the direction of what your question is, but I don't understand the exact reason for your uncomfortableness with this old family friend. So let me know and I'll give you my 2 cents. Okay, yes, he and his office did yours like 10 years ago. Okay, Uncle, it's something we're probably going to do this year, so I will reach out to you once we decide where we want to do this at. Like, which attorney to do that for us, because I hate doing all these dumb adult things, but we're at the age where it kind of, should get done. Jana thinks it's sounds like an aggressive anti-vegan. We'll see what Vegan Potterhead says. Do I have a Faye vinyl album behind me, O'Neill? Well, yes, I do. Strange you ask. I haven't had time to really open them all up yet, but I got all my copies here of the Love Spirals Downwards album. Flux. This is my first time having a full vinyl release. We worked with a label to partner with us they're very experienced in putting out vinyl releases, something that we're not. So all right here. I thought Angie opened one up for photographs and stuff. Let's see. I got a whole bunch of them here, but yeah, Flux. Love Spirals Downwards Flux. It's not officially released yet, even though they've been shipping them already to people who bought them on their website. So yeah, this is the 1998, the final Love Spirals Downwards album, Flux. It's a fusion of kind of ethereal dream pop with atmospheric drum and bass jungle kind of stuff. It's really cool. So yeah. Well, that's my favorite one right now. So yeah, my first time having an album out on vinyl, and a lot of people have written since it came out. I guess they pre-ordered and they got them already. So thank you. You guys got to release more of your catalog on vinyl. Angie and I are thinking about releasing one of our Love Spirals albums, the 2007 Long Way From Home, on vinyl. I've been remastering it for a digital release, but yeah, another label's interested in putting it out on vinyl too. So we'll see. Yeah, I've got a lot of projects in the works right now, more than I can handle, it seems. Okay, Potterhead followed up with his question. Okay, this old family friend that you don't like too much, she's not an anti-vegan. However, she dismisses non-human animals as unfeeling objects and has repeatedly done non-vegan things around you in the past, and that she knew upset you. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, Angie's not here tonight, huh, Sarah? Hopefully, AJ, you're doing all right if you're watching after the fact. I see what you're saying. So you want to know how to tell your mom. Just say, hey, Mom, I'm very passionate about veganism, which means I'm against animal cruelty and exploitation. And this old family friend person intentionally and repeatedly has done non-vegan things around you that she knew upset you. So for those reasons, you really don't want to be around this person, just because she has some kind of, she wants to make you feel bad, not bad, but like hurt you. She wants you to feel uncomfortable by her doing these non-vegan things that she thinks is no big deal. Animals are nothing, they're like paper towels, they're like rocks, So you don't like to hear her anti-vegan attitude, and you don't care to see her do these things that are intentional, that are trying to hurt you. So just say, for these reasons, I really don't want to see this person. And tell your mom, hopefully you can understand, it's just, veganism is a very, near and dear thing to me. I feel very passionate about animals, and someone who's going to intentionally do these things that are to upset me involving animal cruelty, I just don't want to be around that. Like, why put yourself in such a situation? So hopefully something like that would go over. What do you think? Yeah, last week's live stream, you saw it after the fact, Uncle. Awesome. Yeah, Angie was chatting a lot. She must be really enjoying her show tonight. Let's see, Dr. Bear, what's my perspective on this take? Circumcision is not vegan because it causes unnecessary suffering to a sentient being, since babies feel pain. Yeah, technically, Dr. Bear, I agree with you, first of all. But to frame it in a vegan way, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we should frame it as a vegan thing, because it's against animal cruelty and exploitation, and I know humans are animals. I understand that completely, but the way that they intended the word animal to be used is clearly not humans, because if we look at the 1949 definition, the principle of the emancipation of animals from exploitation by man. So from the get-go, even though humans are animals, they're specifically talking about humans causing exploitation and suffering and pain to animals, non-human animals. So I just don't. I'm just not a fan of circumcision for that. That is just not something that you ask. You have no say in the matter. Kind of almost like orthodontic work. Maybe I'm too extreme on that, but I remember my parents all of a sudden one day when I was a kid, they drove me to this new weird dentist. We didn't even have a conversation about it. And all of a sudden they're strapping all this metal in my mouth. I go, what the hell is going on? How come we didn't have a discussion about this? So it's for these, it's like personal rights rather than animal rights. It's like there should be some, consent in the matter. So yeah, again, I'm not sure how that relates to veganism. Just that in this case, a human's rights are being undercut rather than an animal's rights. What do you think, Dr. Bear? Is it a vegan thing or not? I don't know. Either way, it's a human thing, a human exploitation thing. Sarah, you wore neck gear when you were a kid. You're thankful now. Neck gear, like hang on. Oops. Oh my God, what's happening here? Oh my God, what happened to my? Oh, here we go. All right, neck gear. Is that your braces? Because I never had neck gear. They just put a bunch of metal in my mouth when I was younger. Headgear. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I think I just had stuff in my mouth. I don't know what my teeth would have looked like without it. I just know it was a pain in the ass. I wonder if orthodontists are like having trouble staying in business now. Anyone know? It seems like, it's a lot of money, and does insurance cover it? And like, it seems like a lot of extra expense and pain in the ass. And it's not really something you have to do. You haven't lived until I've worn neck gear? No. Wow. What's it like? Just give me a brief, like, what's it like to wear neck or headgear? I have no idea. I guess I was spared a certain kind of pain and suffering there, Sarah. But you're thankful now, you said? Like, why is that? Did you have like really not straight teeth or something? Or Netgear sucked. I bet. It doesn't sound fun. But it's like, yeah, I don't know why I brought that. Oh, yeah, I was talking about like circumcision. For me, it's kind of like braces, like orthodontic work, something that, like, at least for me, I was never involved in a discussion or anything like that. I don't think, do parents do that? Or do they just take it to the orthodontist as a surprise? Okay, you're thankful now because you have nice teeth, but those years probably sucked really bad, I imagine, because I didn't like having braces one bit either. And then wearing retainers after that. Oh my God. I don't know what my teeth would have looked like without it. You had major buck teeth. Wow. I when I look at my pictures when I was a young kid before getting braces, I don't remember my teeth looking particularly like not too weird. I mean, I remember looking kind of normal. I'm not sure why my parents decided to do that. Maybe because they figured, hey, only son, let's just get them, just do it here. It's not gonna be that big of a deal. We don't have any other kids to do this on. Invisalign. What is Invisalign? I've heard of that. You got it during COVID. Perfect with all the masking. Does it involve wearing something on your face? So Jana thinks, yeah, most vegan philosophy is meant to focus on non-human animals, but most of us are also human rights junkies too. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you believe animals have rights and animals shouldn't be exploited, and animals shouldn't be treated with cruelty, you would think you would believe humans have rights and shouldn't be exploited and treated with cruelty too. I mean, it's usually people who believe that the humans have all that stuff and don't apply it to the animals, but vegans, yeah, it's pretty much almost universal. Like, it goes equally both ways. It's a series of retainers. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Mr. Bear did Invisalign. It worked really well for him. He had a big gap in his teeth, and he felt self-conscious about it, and now his teeth are straight with no gap. Wow. And Jessica has very spacey teeth from not having had braces or anything. I kind of like the unique look of them. Huh. That I think that's good. If you can, I think they're easier to floss if you have spacier teeth. Mine are kind of narrow, the gaps. So stuff gets caught. So I really have to spend, I have to floss every day. I have a water pick too that I use every day. And there's even then, stuff gets stuck. What's that, VLAM? You have one crooked incisor because your teeth got too big for your mouth. I know the for years, Angie didn't get her wisdom teeth out, but the dentist or the oral hygienist, when they see her mouth, go, you got to should take your wisdom teeth out. Like, I'm like 50 something now. I don't, they're staying, yeah. But something bad could happen. Well, let's pull them out then. If something bad happens then, I'm not going to like pull them out preemptively and pay all that money and have all this suffering just in case something might happen. Just deal with it. If something's wrong, take it out then. It's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Oh, let's not even talk about root canals. Yeah, fortunately, I think I've gotten through this far in life without having had a root canal, knock on wood. Angie had one around the time I met her, and it's caused some problems. In fact, that was the tooth that she had to get extracted later on just because of the root canal. It lasted like 20 years or something like that, but eventually the tooth had to go. Oh, Ray did it as well. Awesome. Dentistry isn't vegan. I don't know, Bob. Do they use animal products in dentistry? Can you find vegan dentists? I go to a more like hate the word, like a holistic kind of dentist. So they do like things in a typically better way. But I mean, if you got to get a tooth filled, if you need to get an extraction, you got to do it. So it has nothing to do with being vegan or not. I mean, again, veganism doesn't mean you have to live with rotted teeth or live with crooked teeth or never get your teeth cleaned or anything like that, Bob. I'm not sure. Are you doing some kind of cosmic skeptic thing here? What's that, Milo? Exactly. Humans are animals. Exactly. We are animals. Making products out of harvested body parts is like cannibalism. It's dangerous. It's not consensual. Yeah, Angie's had multiple people, Dr. Bear, that looked in her mouth and they just really want to pull those wisdom teeth out. It's like, hey, I'm fine. I'm old, they're not causing any trouble, but they could move. No, they haven't in all these decades. They're still fine. Yeah, but anyway, now we have a different oral hygienist who actually she's like older, like maybe a little younger than us, maybe 10 years younger. Anyway, it doesn't matter. She has her wisdom teeth still. So when she sees Angie's wisdom teeth, this oral hygienist doesn't give her any crap. She's never said anything like, oh, we got to remove them like the younger ones said to her in the past. So Angie likes her new hygienist. Not new hygienist, but we've had her now for maybe a couple years. Yeah, Jessica. Yeah, your dad had pain for years over root canals. Yeah, I hope to never have a root canal. And thankfully, Angie's root canal tooth, I tell you, it's extracted, gone, won't cause her any more trouble. She has an implant in there now. Am I giving too much information away? This is years ago. Dr. Bear, you still have all your wisdom teeth. Awesome. Your jaw is large enough to have space for them, and they're not causing pain. Exactly. Yeah, no need to remove them. Have you had any oral health professionals like kind of freak out a little bit and suggest that you should get them removed? Just curious. So Dr. Bear has a big mouth. That's what the doctor says about Angie too. They really like her mouth. It's really, I can't remember if it's big or small now. Crap, I can't remember what they said. Ooh, TMJ, you got that after your wisdom teeth got taken out? Yikes. See, that's why we don't want to mess with things. Just leave them in there. If you don't have any problems, don't cause any new ones. Ooh, Redlosh. Ooh, infected? They took 4 out? Yikes. Your wisdom teeth? Yeah, sounds very not fun. Sarah, you never grew 4 wisdom teeth. Only had 2 and they came out. Yeah, I believe all mine are gone too. I did all the stuff that you're supposed to do. My parents got the wisdom teeth pulled, got the braces. Angie, I don't know if the dentist is, but the couple of our past oral hygienists have been drilling to get Angie's wisdom teeth out. Hit the like button if you like garlic. That's not like I dislike garlic. I just don't like how garlic makes me smell. I mean, I guess I'm okay with the flavor of garlic, sort of. I don't hate it or anything like that. I just don't like how garlic makes me smell. What's up, Dr. Bear? No, fortunately, your dentist seems really trustworthy and knowledgeable. He's never pressured you to get a procedure you don't need. That's great. If you have a great dentist, stick with them. And we have a good dentist too. So yeah, I kind of jump around between doctors and stuff, but I've had the same dentist since like my early days as a vegan. I think I found them around 2011, 2012, something like that. So yeah, I'm sticking with them. They're I like their approach, mercury-free dentistry. What other things? They do all these cool things that I appreciate. Born again. Yeah, you're not going to quit vegan because you fart too much? Awesome. Good for you. Nikki, the drugs when they pull your wisdom teeth are great. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, when I got done with getting my wisdom teeth pulled. I remember, I wish there were video cameras back then. I guess they were, but very few families had them. They're bulky and expensive, and you probably don't bring them to your oral surgeon appointment. But anyway, I remember I got out and I went like this to my parents to say, hey, I'm okay, I'm fine, I survived, okay, I'm cool. But I probably looked like some stoned out hippie or something like that when I did that to them. Sarah, you don't have any mercury fillings? I got, that's one of the first things I did with my dentist when I went to them back in 2011, 2012 is I hadn't gone to the dentist for like a long time, like 5-10 years. So I had a lot of problems. I needed a bunch of teeth cleanings. And once we got that sorted out, then I wanted to get my my mercury fillings out. They were old anyway. It wasn't like I was removing stuff that was perfectly fine. They were put in there when I was a baby, like 5 to 10 years old, something like that. So they were old. They were at the end of their life cycle, basically. And I didn't like them. I thought they made me feel kind of mellow and weird and stuff. So I got them taken out, and yeah, I'm stoked. Yeah, no more mercury. Jessica, you understand too. You too cannot eat garlic and onions due to body odor over it. Exactly. It's not like a hating them or hating the taste. I mean, I can eat some onions. Angie's figured out which kinds of onions I can eat. So yeah, there's certain onions that I'm better with than others. Teeth problems, veganism debunked. Yeah, getting old and having teeth problems. Yep, doesn't happen to non-vegans, huh? Is born again vegan a thing, Uncle? I don't know. Good question. Yeah, Dr. Bear. I remember when Milo mentioned that injection thing. I was kind of shocked too. I had not heard of that. So yeah, if you have any more info on that, Milo, yeah, share it. If you can't share a link, maybe if it's an article or story, you could share the title and then we just could Google it. Yeah, I'm not taking issue with it. I just never heard of that. It just sounds pretty like, whoa. Yeah, see, VLAM, yeah, Buddhists. Yeah, I know Buddhists avoid certain foods, so they avoid garlic and onions. Because I didn't know that was why, because they make you amorous. I didn't know that was the reason. I just knew that was some of the foods that are avoided. I didn't know it was because of that. I didn't know, ooh, yeah, eat the onions and garlic. Ooh, baby. I didn't know that. I never felt kind of like, ooh, turned on after after having onions and garlic. Do vegans smell better than carnies? Well, they don't smell like any kind of rotten or digesting meat, so that would help, I imagine, Nikki. Let's see, Sarah, you don't feel stinky when you eat onions. Again, it depends on what kind of onions. I forgot. Angie says I can eat like those red or pink onions, but those just white onions that they have like at like Subway sandwiches. I remember that was when I first discovered I don't do well with onions. But I don't know if you necessarily feel the stink yourself, Sarah. It's something that others notice more than yourself. So I just don't want to stink Angie out, basically. I guess if I lived alone, it wouldn't be as much of a big deal. Yeah, I'm not sure. Sweet onions or what? If Angie were here, we could ask her what's the, like, there's one kind of onion I avoid always, as much as I can, because they are horrible for me. Oh, we're talking all sorts of wild things again tonight. Oh, Allison, you learned when you went to your local Buddhist vegan restaurant. Unfortunately, they're closed now. But yeah, garlic, onions, and pungent foods can produce feelings of sexual desire, supposedly. I didn't know that. You go eat some like garlicky, like pasta, and then all of a sudden you feel turned on. That's weird. I didn't know. That was. I never felt really like turned on after eating garlic or stuff like that. Yeah, Sarah, we do like some onions, just not like those white ones that they used to put in like the Subway vegetarian sandwiches I was getting back in the day. Yeah, I think Angie cooks with like different, like, yeah, we do like onions to some degree, depending on their kind. Oh, Nikki, yeah, Carnivore Cringe. Have you guys seen the Instagram of Carnivore Cringe? It's a person who subscribes to many, I guess, carnivore groups and subreddits. And you always hear how vegans are sick and dying and all this crap. You see carnivore people regularly posting all these horrible things that are happening to them, their health, their blood tests, and they're freaking out why their LDL cholesterol is like 350 and stuff like that. So yeah, Carnivore Cringe collects them and shares them on Instagram. So what are you saying there about that? I lost what you said there. Yeah, Nikki, has anyone seen the Instagram of Carnivore Cringe? Some of the things they eat or have happen is wild, like foaming urine. I haven't seen that post. I haven't been on Instagram for a few days. I'll check that out. Oh, Uncle, but both partners have to eat the garlic. I see. That's how it works then. Okay. Oh my God, the Lakers just barely beat the Grizzlies by 3 points. Wow, they should have kicked their butts. Wow, I'm glad they won, but man, I just looked at my score right now on the watch. Wow, it's crazy. All right, anyway, back to reality here. Yeah, lifting vegan logic. Yeah, he'll poke fun at the carnivores and stuff too. Uncle, we're talking about having a stir fry tonight once the live stream's over. Yeah, Fallon, I would think the garlic would have the opposite effect of like sexual turn on. That's just how I feel about it too, Fallon Marie. Foaming pee is probably due to too much protein. I have no idea what the foaming pee is. I thought maybe someone prepared it to be foamed, like some kind of urine therapy. I have no idea. Yeah, it's fascinating to read and check out the comments. Brandon, what is my favorite guitar brand? You tend to like Ibanez. I actually have an Ibanez right here. In fact, I'm about to release a music video on the Low Spirals Downwards channel of me playing live along to one of the songs on Flux here. And this is the exact guitar I had in 1997, 98 when I was recording Flux. It's an Ibanez Tallman guitar. They don't make these anymore. It's a special kind of design. I'm not special. You could have bought them in stores for like a 2-year period. Yeah, it's my favorite Ibanez right here. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really got nice, really silent pickups here, so I can really crank up a lot of gain, play like really like distorted out sounds, crank on the big muff type pedals. I almost sold it one day. I'm glad I didn't. I put it up for sale, then I immediately took it down. I just needed to fix it up a little bit. Some of the electronics were broken. I replaced it, and it's like good as new now. Yeah, it's a beautiful guitar, Brandon. Yeah, I could probably sell it for like close to $1,000 now or something like that. But I don't want to. It's a special guitar for me. I'm going to keep it. And it's actually a really quiet guitar. A lot of my Fenders, they hum and stuff. So, if I have a lot of gain, I have to be, really careful about which direction I'm facing so I don't get too much hum. Let's see, VLAM, you heard that YouTube promotes live streams in the shorts formats more now? Really? So I have to make my live stream all narrow, you're saying? Is that what I got to do to be cool? Wow. What did Sandra Bullock do on YouTube, Milo? I must have missed what you're talking about there. Okay, Allison, according to the Buddhist restaurant, based on Buddha's doctrine, 5 pungent plants which create anger and sexual desire are prohibited. Garlic, onion, chives, leeks, and shallots. Okay, those aren't big essentials for me. I could live with that as a Buddhist. But I don't believe that. You don't have to believe everything. That even if I'm Buddhist, I identify as Buddhist, I don't believe everything about, any rules that are out there. Dr. Bear, sounds like Milo's having trouble digging that up, so let's just let that go. If he finds it next week, he can bring it. So if you find it, Milo, bring it back to us next week. You have Dr. Bear's curiosity for sure. All right, Sarah, you got a jet. How long have we been on, Sarah? Oh, almost 2 hours. That's great. I know you get antsy after like about an hour and a half or so. So you made it 2 hours, Sarah. So good seeing you. Thanks for staying with us as long as you can. And thank you for your super chat tip. And I guarantee you the next day that the sun comes out after drying up all the rain, I will use your super chat tip and get my latte, my California latte. And thank you. I can't wait to go. Unfortunately, it won't be until maybe Monday or something, the way the weather's going right now. Oh, I didn't ask him about that. Did any of you guys see my, not mine, but Angie, the video Angie shot of me having, it's for you super fans, right? The Happy Fam, the one of me doing the TikTok, so California soy latte. Let me know if you like that. Garth, what kind of question is that? If I had to make a choice between eating a bear or a bear eating me, what would I choose? I don't even understand what that situation means. Why would I have to eat a bear? Couldn't I why would I have to eat the bear? That doesn't make any sense. Interesting questions come up when you're vegan like that. Weird thought experiments that never could really happen. Yeah, we and Donner passed together or something like that. But yeah, Dr. Bear says, eating a bear, those are your only two options. VLAM says, does seem vertical live streams are getting more viewers. Huh? I'll try it one day just for the F of it. And, we'll see. You saw the soy latte dance, Jesse? Awesome. Okay, Taos, you have a Ibanez guitar too, an acoustic. Awesome. Excellent tone with the super light strings you run. Awesome. Yeah, I don't think I've ever played too many Ibanez's, particularly an acoustic. But yeah, I know they're good guitars. They've been around for decades and decades. Respectable brand. Yeah, I love my one Ibanez I got here, but I'm mainly a Fender guy. Yeah, I have two Stratocasters, a Telecaster, and a jazz bass. I guess that kind of makes me a Fender guy. Jana, yeah, I think those foods we were talking about, those 5 foods to avoid. Yeah, I thought that was considered Buddhist monk food prohibitions. I think everyone else can eat it, but I think the monks, they want to keep the monks from feeling a little randy, after having garlic or whatever. I can't imagine that, but anyway, yeah, I think it's those foods are restrictions for monks only. Am I right there? Redlocks. Do I believe we should try to hunt? Okay, let's see your argument. Why should we try to hunt? Predators to protect herbivores in a vegan world? Huh? Hunt predator? I don't. Here. Oops. I'm against man exploiting animals, basically. Let's look at the 1940 definition there. The principle of emancipation of animals from exploitation by man against animal cruelty and exploitation. So going out and hunting an animal, no. You think vegans should be hunters? Is that what you think? That's what you get from seeing the definition of veganism. You read this and you think, oh, I need to get a gun or a bow or whatever and start hunting animals in the wild. You must be reading this in a whole different way. That's the last thing I get from this. So, no, I didn't go vegan. Here's the thing, Redlocks. When I went vegan, I remember exactly why I went vegan. It had nothing to do with like lions hunting wildebeest or eagles scooping up rodents or something like that. I didn't care what's going on in as far as nature, wildlife, ecosystems. I went vegan because I realized my mom got me this sad microwave hamburger. Like, wow, an animal had to be killed and turned into this little dumb microwave burger so I could sit around in my suburban house and just stick a poor innocent dead animal's body into a stupid microwave when I could just eat plants instead. I go, this animal lived its sad life so I could have a stupid microwave meal? No, I thought there's something inherently wrong with that. Why are we raising 90 billion animals a year for slaughter? So humans exploit them their entire lives and cruelly slaughter them so we can eat all this meat food and dairy and eggs that we don't need. That's why I went vegan. What happens in nature has nothing to do with the reasons why I went vegan for. So if that's a passion of yours, you can start some kind of vegan hunting club, I guess, and see how the world reacts to that. But I'm gonna keep as far as I possibly can away from that. So anyway, do you have a favorite cookbook besides the Happy Healthy Vegan Cookbook? That's our favorite cookbook. Mark said, all your friends quit being vegan. You're the only one left in your group. It's sad. And many of the influencers you looked up to quit. Megan Elizabeth, Ravana, the vegan couple, Tim Sheaf, weren't those all like raw fruitarian type people? I never really saw, the vegan couple, I'm not sure what they're doing. They're not vegan anymore? I thought they quit producing content. But as far as like Ravana, Megan Elizabeth, they were promoting a diet of eating like raw fruit, right? I never saw Ravana talk about animal cruelty and exploitation. She happened to be eating an accidental vegan diet, but it wasn't a diet that she chose for ethical considerations. It was for cleansing and detoxing and your body looking a certain way, right? But the that vegan couple, I thought they were ethical vegans. So let me know, are they not vegan anymore? I know they stopped making content, but I'd be shocked as hell if they weren't vegan anymore. So let me know, because yeah, I've heard them speak many times about animal cruelty and exploitation. But Megan Elizabeth, Ravana, no, I just heard them talking about detoxing and weight loss and stuff like that. Yeah, VLAM, I thought the vegan couple only quit YouTube, not vegan. I'd be shocked as hell. Yeah, Bond is saying the same thing. What? The vegan couple stopped being vegan? That's news to all of us. Yeah, Carl, I'm pretty sure that vegan couple is still vegan. Just because you quit making content doesn't mean you're not vegan. But as far as I know, like Ravana still makes content. She makes all her stuff, but she's not vegan. She eats meat, and I don't think she ever was vegan. She was a raw fruitarian. Again, that's not the same as veganism. Being into detoxing and cleansing and getting real skinny and stuff, that has nothing to do with being against animal cruelty and exploitation. It's not. Hey, Sky Cross, thank you for your super chat tip there. Getting pasta bar tonight. Awesome. I had some pasta earlier before this live stream. Thank you so much. I'll save that up for the next time I can leave the house. It's going to rain all weekend. Yeah, Milo, as far as like large animal populations, I'm with you. It's like people think you either have to go out there and hunt them or not. No, you can do all sorts of stuff. You can affect their breeding. Yeah, you can separate the males from the females. And more intrusively, you can leave. I thought there's ways to like leave food so that they can't reproduce anymore. It sounds a little cooler, but yeah, it's less cruel than killing them and shooting them, right? So there are other ways to control wildlife populations other than just killing. You could reintroduce back what was the predator that predated on these like out of control populations. I'm not gonna do any of this stuff. I'm not a wildlife manager or anything like that. But yeah, you don't always have to kill animals to keep animal populations in control. There's less invasive ways to do that. I thought I saw some good questions there. Dr. Bear is saying to Redlocks, yeah, lions don't have a choice. Yeah, lions can't go to the supermarket. They can't whip out their credit card or use their Apple Pay and walk out with a box of bananas and potatoes and beans like I can. They're not moral creatures anyway. They have no say in the matter as far as what they can eat. As far as I understand, lions, need to do what lions do. And I don't know if a lion can eat like I can. But anyway, they're not moral agents anyway, so you can't hold them morally responsible for anything that you might perceive as immoral behavior. Lions are not moral agents. Yeah, and also Dr. Bear points out what I'm pointing out. Humans don't also have a great track record of altering environments like invasive species. So yeah, especially vegans. I don't know any vegan that's an ecology expert or anything like that knows how to alter an ecosystem that's in balance and what would happen if you removed a part of it, what kinds of consequences. But a lot of vegans don't give a shit. They just want to go there and shoot all this stuff. At least in their minds they say they want to. And damn the consequences because of all the injustice happening out in the wild. But anyway, I thought I saw a question about guitars here. Let me see. Allison, a woman is on trial for beating her husband to death with his guitar collection. The judge asked her, "Are you a first offender?" She replies, "No. First a Gibson, then a Fender?" What? Is that a joke or is that real? That's funny though. Whatever happened there. Yeah, good points again, Dr. Bear. It's sad to see a buffalo get killed. Totally true. I'm not saying that's an awesome thing or anything, but it's also sad to watch a lion suffer and starve to death too. Yeah, those are both sad situations. Suffering cannot be avoided in nature. Let's repeat that. Suffering cannot be avoided in nature. But we don't live in nature. We're not living in the savannah. We're not part of that ecosystem. And we can choose to be vegan, whereas a lion or an eagle or a coyote, not a moral agent, can't make the moral decision to choose a life which seeks to exclude as far as possible and practical all forms of cruelty and exploitation of animals for food, clothing, or other purposes. These are the only decisions that only moral agents like ourselves can make, human animals. VLAM, I'm forever thankful I found HHV at the start of your vegan journey. Awesome. Ryan really drilled the definition of veganism into me. Yeah, I mean, thanks. I mean, just a real simple, I'm not saying this definition that I show all the time is like ironclad perfect, and everything. I'm saying it's a pretty damn good definition. It captures here's the strength of this definition. It captures extremely well what veganism is. And therefore, we can tell people what veganism is not. It's not about being a perfect being like cosmic skeptic and all that stuff. And it's just just think about why any of us went vegan. Just go back and think about why you went vegan. Was it because lions were hunting wildebeest on the Africa savannah? No, you went vegan probably because you saw some footage of animal cruelty and exploitation, or you just thought about the concept of where your meat comes from and didn't want to participate in animal cruelty and exploitation. It all goes back to being against animal cruelty and exploitation, and that's what I think this definition does a fantastic job of doing. Is it perfect? No definition's perfect. They all have their strengths and weaknesses, but I think the strengths of this definition far outweigh any potential weaknesses that people bring up. Yeah, VLAM, great point. Yeah, suffering cannot be avoided in life, period, right? I don't think we can say definitively nature is all suffering all the time. What's that, Samuel? You think this anti-predator crap is nothing but anti-vegan propaganda? It just sounds so crazy to me, this concept of vegan hunters. Like, really? I thought we're the ones who are against animal cruelty and exploitation. So you want to go out and just cause a bunch of animal cruelty and exploitation. It just doesn't make a lot of intuitive sense. I guess that's why most of the people that believe in the killing all the predators, they hate this definition, because according to this definition, what they're doing is totally not justified. So they have to invent their own. Why should we eat oysters? Who's Star Charcoal is here to talk about oysters? Star Charcoal, what are you asking here? I'm going to try to find out when you jumped in here. What is this thing about eating oysters? Why should we eat oysters for? Just because, why? If there's some nutrient we're deficient in, maybe we can get tested for it before we go out and eat an oyster? I'm just saying, what nutrient can be found only in oysters such that if a vegan were to never eat oysters, we would be at risk of some kind of deficiency? What is this magical nutrient that only oysters have that we can't get through a supplement or a plant? That's a question that really needs to be answered if there's going to be some argument that vegans must eat oysters. But yeah, just take a supplement. And let me just tell you right now, I haven't had any oysters the whole time I've been vegan. I've been vegan 13 years. And the whole decade before I went vegan, I don't recall ever having oysters. In fact, I've probably eaten oysters maybe once or twice in my life. I'm 56, so if oysters were so nutritionally essential, meaning without eating oysters, we'd get sick and die. I should be dead. I mean, really, I mean, most people probably in life didn't grow up in an area where there are a lot of oysters, and I barely ate oysters anyway, so how come I'm not sick and dead? I must be doing just fine without this magical nutrient that oysters have. Okay, Kathy's saying she's talking about unnatural vegan. She says oysters, clams, or other... How does she know that they're not sentient beings? Or that humans can't get from plants, DHA or EPA? You can just take a supplement, right? Why consume a being, a living being, who that might be sentient? I don't know. They're not like rocks or kale or something like that. They have more neural matter than kale or something like that. So why eat a creature that you don't really need to eat? That's the whole thing. Why not just take a supplement? It's like the Miley Cyrus thing. Oh, when I was vegan, my brain was all foggy. Had nothing to do with all the drugs and weed and stuff, but my brain's foggy. So I thought I needed some omega-3 fatty acids. So I thought I'd eat fish. Like, you know, that you can get your omega-3 fatty acids from other, like from plant sources. Like, you can just take an algae supplement. You don't need to kill the fish that ate the algae. Just eat the algae directly. So I'm not sure why we just can't take a supplement. Right? Why would we? What's wrong with taking the supplement? It seems easier to take a supplement than to have a constant supply of oysters. So Dr. Bear is saying, Dr. Greger recommends taking an algae supplement for EPA and DHA. So that's what I do. No need to eat oysters. Handled. This whole unnatural vegan argument shut down. Just take your algae supplement, right? I mean, it's the whole Miley Cyrus thing. I had to eat fish to get the oil. No, just take the supplement. Just take the algae supplement. Why is that so hard for people to understand? That why eat animals when you can just take the supplement that you're trying to get from the animal? Yeah, VLAM, and the ocean needs the oysters. They perform a function. You're exploiting them by taking them out of the world, out of the water, where they're doing their oyster thing in the ocean, and using them for your own benefit, for DHA, EPA. Just take a supplement and exploit no one and let the oysters clean the water or whatever they're doing. Yeah, move through the line. Take a DHA supplement. Easy. Exactly. So Vegan for Life Canada says that Dr. Clapper and Greger both say the supplements aren't reliable. Well, take the supplements and get your blood checked. You know, why violate your moral principles and eat an animal you don't need to eat? Just take a supplement and get your blood checked. If you're not doing well, figure out a new plan from there. But don't have your first plan be eat animals. Peter's here. Whoa, Peter. Yeah, someone bringing up the unnatural vegan oyster thing. Here's the thing. Most people don't eat a shit ton of oysters anyway. So, I mean, really, who eats oysters on the reg? You know, even I told you when I was not vegan, I pretty much never ate oysters. You can pretty much say I'm oyster free. Just had them maybe a couple times in my life. If I couldn't get all these nutrients, DHA and EPA from whatever I'm eating and supplements, I should be sick and dead right now. I'm pretty much an oyster free person for 56 years. So that's what I'm saying. How much of an issue is it? How dangerous is it to not eat oysters? Yeah, I'll take my multivitamins tonight too. I'll go for the the vitamin B12, and what's that one you guys got me on? God, I'm having a brain fart right now. Crap, I can't remember. I'm tired. I have a reason. If you're watching Vegan Deterioration right now, if you're watching me, it's because, as I showed earlier, it's at the gym, 2 hours, 7 minutes a day on the basketball court. I'm tired, so forgive me, please. It's, you know, I've been up since been up for about 12 hours right now, and gym occupied two of those hours. A good point, VLAM, for all the iodine. Thank you, iodine. That's the other supplement I got, Uncle. Thank you so much. VLAM points out, for all the people's arguing for the positive things that you might get from eating ocean animals, VLAM points out people who consume oysters on the reg should probably be worried about heavy metal poisoning, all the toxins in the ocean. So yeah, you might be getting something you want, but you're probably getting something else that you don't want. That's probably going to kill you before DHA, EPA, or whatever deficiency. Yeah, Milo, I'm on the, I don't understand fully like how sentience works in bivalves, but you know, it's questionable. Since there's debate on it, since it's questionable, I'm just going to do without. The thing is, the question you need to ask yourself is, can you live a happy, healthy life without eating bivalves? And the answer is obviously yes. You know, unless you have blood tests and you've been taking all these supplements and it's not working, and then, yeah, talk to your vegan nutritionist about it. But I haven't met a person that's had that kind of situation yet. So I'm saying, yeah, I've, all these years, pretty much consumed no bivalves, 56 years on this planet, and still kicking ass. You know, so I'm saying how important it really is to eat bivalves? Probably not that important at all, or else I should be suffering seriously, horribly. You know, bad shit should be happening. So I'm with you, Milo. Yeah, within doubt, go without. You know, take a supplement. Get your blood checked, talk to your doctor, but don't listen to dumb idiots on YouTube like me or Unnatural Vegan. You know, do your research, talk to a doctor. Don't listen to some influencer or someone who doesn't have any education in nutrition and say, oh yeah, I should eat bivalves because some guy or girl on YouTube said so. Oysters specifically even have eyes. So if they have eyes, I know they have some kind of neural matter, something that plants don't have. They have some kind of neural matter. They don't have a central nervous system, right? But they do have some kind of nervous system. So they have some of the matter, some of the hardware of a primitive brain system, communication system. So it would stand to reason, okay, kale probably doesn't feel pain, an avocado probably doesn't feel pain, but there's a decent chance bivalves do feel pain. So I'm going, just leave them alone. Okay, Dr. Bear, you found this National Institute of Health article entitled Bioaccumulation of Heavy Metals in Oysters from the southern coast of Korea, which you think would probably not be as polluted as, like, say, the United States coast. Assessment of potential risk to human health. Oh, cool. Nice title there. Could you paste me the conclusion, like the one or two sentences, assuming that's all it is for the conclusion? Allison, I can send you links, Ryan. I have a folder with bookmarks specifically for this topic. Wow. Well, give me the quick pitch, Allison. What's your conclusion from the things you have read about this topic? What's that? Filmar music? Oysters and wasters are similar? Republicans hate them? I'm not sure if I get that. I'm misrepresenting the facts. You're telling me that kale has more awareness, or an avocado has more awareness than a clam? How does that harm veganism? I don't think too many people in the world are worried about these issues. These are just not dumb. These are just weird side issues that people try to bring up, try to confuse the waters, so to speak, on veganism. But you're saying, like, okay, explain to me how an avocado or a banana has more awareness than a like, say, a starfish or something. I think a starfish is a bivalve. Just explain it to me like I'm a dumb idiot. I've never studied biology or anything. How does a banana have more awareness than a bivalve? Just kind of curious. And then I'm a bad person for suggesting that bivalves might have more awareness than a banana. Wow. If that makes me a bad person, cool. If that's the worst thing I can be accused of, I'm cool with that. There you go, Carl. Potatoes and clams both have eyes. Handled. Yeah, VLAM. So yeah, plants have awareness. That's news. Share source, please. Okay, Dr. Bear, about to the pollution of like things in the ocean that people eat. The article says the amount of heavy metals in oysters is below the tolerable daily intake for humans, but that doesn't mean it's a good idea to eat them. So they're saying, okay, there's this limit that the whoever is defined as don't cross this limit of what's tolerable amount for humans to eat, but still, it's not totally safe, they're saying. I get it. Greg, yeah, I'm not being judgmental towards people who eat oysters. Let's put it like this. If some vegan person on social media or YouTube made a video about how they ate oysters, Greg, I'm not going to make a video calling them an asshole and calling them a bad person. I don't really care, okay? If that's what they're doing as a vegan, fine. I disagree with it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to recommend others do it, but I'm not going to like try to divide the vegan world or something like that, make vegans look bad because they ate a bivalve. I just think they're wrong, and I'm going to leave it at that. I mean, I could believe people are wrong, and we don't have to have a big fight about it or blow up the whole vegan world or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? I can have my opinions and my beliefs, and they can have theirs, and we can just agree to disagree without vegans attacking other vegans. On something like this. So hopefully we're in agreement there. Yeah, Sam, fruits are made by plants literally to be eaten by animals. But animals aren't made by animals so that other animals can eat them. At least not for us vegans. We can get by without having to eat other animals. Oh, well, thanks for sharing that vegan adventure. Yeah, again, I've been doing quite fine without eating bivalves for most of my 56 years of life. I'm doing okay. So I'm saying I don't think there's some essential food that's only in bivalves or meat that without which you're going to have a hell of a time as a vegan. Yeah, Dr. Bear says, exactly. I wouldn't want to eat something that may have up to 17.75% of the tolerable daily limit intake of heavy metals. I would rather have a 0% intake of daily heavy metals, wouldn't you? I mean, it is a cumulative buildup, I thought, wasn't it? That's cool, Vegan Adventure. That's cool. If you want to eat bivalves as a vegan, go for it. I'm not going to call you an asshole or anything like that. You can do it. It's all cool. I'm not going to make a video about you. We had a plants rights activist go. Oh yeah, the person that came here and said that what was it, like bananas and avocados had more cognitive sentience than a bivalve. Yeah, I don't know where that person went. Okay, Allison. So do oysters feel pain? She says, yes, oysters and mollusks have a nervous system. Yes, not a central nervous system, but it is a nervous system. You know, these are, bits of our brains known as, I can't pronounce that. That includes central and peripheral cords. And she's got more. With the recent study on the nervous system development in the Pacific oyster, it has been proved that oysters do have sensory cells and can respond to various chemicals and can sense damage. All right, thanks for sharing this, Allison. Yeah, that's the reason why just leave them alone. Leave the bivalves alone. Is that true, Vegan Towers? Is that a known fact? Are these known facts? Vegans have higher rates of strokes, and the cause of that is DHA or EPA. Is that a fact or is that a speculation? Okay, now Allison points out, squid, octopuses or octopi, oysters all feel pain as well. So why eat them, right? Yeah, VLAM, that person was just another drive, and then the drive-by poop flinger, and they had the gall to say I was misrepresenting facts, and I had this wacky zany belief that that oysters and squid and like have more sentience than avocados. I'm so crazy. This is so out there, so outrageous. I'm on the edge saying such wacky stuff, huh? I mean, I'm insane for suggesting that. Like. You're right, total poop flinger, huh? Mismatch 32. So, did this person that John Kohler interviewed that had a stroke, his test suggested very low omega-3 despite low omega-6 and limiting oils. Well, the question is, were they taking some kind of algae supplement? If they had low omega-3s, just lowering your omega-6 is not going to give you omega-3s. I know there's this ratio theory. I know what you're talking about there, but that is not going to. If you still have low omega-3, who cares what the ratio is? If your omega-3 is deficient, who cares what the ratio is? If they're low in omega-3, was this person afraid to take an algae supplement? Just curious. Mishmash. Who knows what the percentage is? I mean, it's your choice as a vegan to be as healthy as you want to be. I've yet to meet any vegans who are like sick and deficient from not having enough algae supplements or something like that. So if that's your problem with veganism, awesome, great. You know? Oh, you're including yourself. Okay, I'm just saying. I mean. It's weird. I don't know. I know that's not a great scientific observation I'm making here. I'm just saying, if it were that much of an issue, you would think by now. I've been vegan 13 years. I've known thousands of vegans. How come I'm not really hearing about, seeing people I know, people I communicate with, like, oh man, I'm having these health issues from not having algae supplements or something like. I'm just kind of curious if it were that. If it were that real of an issue, of a really problematic issue. Yeah, Milo, I brought up Jainism quite a lot lately in my videos because a lot of people seem to be misunderstanding veganism as Jainism. I'm pointing out what these anti-vegans are describing of like causing no harm whatsoever. These people are describing Jainism, not veganism. As you sit here, the Jain religion doesn't eat potatoes because uprooting and killing the plant takes place when harvesting. Jonathan Rivera, you think most vegans quit being vegan before something happens? Well, great. When is something going to happen to me, Jonathan? Do you have any idea how long I've been vegan? Just take a guess. And, I'll tell you right now, I'm 56 years old. How long have I been vegan, and how long do I need to wait for something to happen? Because when I was vegan for 3 years, people are saying wait till you're 4 or 5 years into veganism, then it's going to totally fall apart on you. All sorts of hell is going to break out. Well, I hit the 5-year mark. I'm giving you some clues how long I've been vegan. Nothing happened. Well, they say, well, wait till you get a couple more years. Most people start having hellish health issues around the 7-year mark. I'm going, okay. I'll see what happens. Nope, I still have great blood tests, great athleticism. So tell me, Jonathan, when are these horrible things going to start happening to me? And based on what data? You're making an empirical claim here that your health breaks down as a vegan and then they quit. Where's your data that people quit veganism because of health problems? Because I know what you're probably talking about. You're talking about that Phonolytics study that surveyed why people quit being vegan and vegetarian. And had nothing to do with health issues. I could bring it up for you. I'm not blind to you. You can research this. You can fact check me. It had to do with social issues, social pressures, social issues. I mean, yeah, some may have quit for health, but the vast majority of people who quit vegan wasn't because they were deficient or sick or anything like that. It's because of social issues. But I'm kind of curious though, Jonathan, when am I going to start falling apart if most people quit being vegan? I just banned someone silently. AJ! Showed up at the last minute here, AJ. Better late than never, and thank you for the algae supplement fund. Thank you so much.
For the algae supplement fund.
Yeah, I don't know why we're going off on algae supplements here. So Yanks-D55, 63 here and thriving vegan, went vegan over 40 years ago and still not dead. Yeah, a lot of people, AJ and I, are really concerned about, hey, since we're not taking algae supplements on the reg or eating bivalves, we should all be sick and dying. I'm going, I'm just kind of curious, Jonathan. Jonathan, you came here. I'm going to put you in timeout if you don't answer my question. You said people quit vegan before their health problems get bad or something like that. When is this supposed to happen, Jonathan? If you say anything other than that, I'm going to ban you. So you're the one that came here to my channel, flung poop on my wall, on my live stream. So answer my question. Be considerate. And since you came and brought this up, I didn't go to you and bring this up. You came here saying that vegans quit before they get sick or something like that. How do you know how long I've been vegan? And please let me know when it's going to happen to me, because the haters have been telling me this since my 3rd year as a vegan. And I keep waiting and it's not happening. I'm still waiting for that vegan deficiency to kick in. So please tell me. In that time, I've learned to slam dunk at the age of 50, something that I shouldn't have been able to do because I didn't slam dunk in my 20s. So yeah, I'm just waiting for all these horrible things to happen to me. Dr. Bear says to Jonathan, please provide evidence for your claims, peer-reviewed studies, or a position statement from a reputable organization, please. That's what she's saying. That's what Dr. Bear's saying. I don't think eating bivalves makes people healthier. Yeah, if there's some kind of position statement from not an individual, but from a health organization that takes much more weight than it's much more support than like the position of a guy, some dude or something like that. So hey, Jonathan, we're waiting for you to provide evidence about when. I want your prediction as to when I'm going to fall apart. And how long have I been vegan? You haven't brought that either. So are you going to answer, Jonathan? I'll wait for you for 1 second. If not, I'm just going to time you out. Wow, Jonathan, you got really quiet all of a sudden. What happened? I didn't time you out. Did you? Did you time anyone out, Peter? I banned a guy a second ago, but it wasn't him. Yeah, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So just tell me, like you said, vegans' health breaks down at a certain time. Like when? When is this going to happen? When is the vegan health deterioration going to start happening to me? Okay, Peter, I didn't think you did. Jonathan's having a lot of trouble right now. He was quite verbose earlier, and then when called on his being called out on his extraordinary claims, seems to have lost his ability to type. Quite reticent now. Oh well, we'll move on. Jonathan just came, pooped and bailed, pooped on my wall and left. Wow, Carl, let me read Carl here, because, Jonathan said that, our health falls apart as vegans. He said, Carl, I'm reading Carl verbatim here. I've only been vegan, doing it for 6.5 years after having a heart attack on the standard American diet. Now I'm healthier than when I was 30. I'm 59. Yeah, I showed you my blood test before from when I was around 30 years old. And I'm better now. My biomarkers are better. Usually when you get older, things typically for Americans get worse and worse, their biomarkers. Mine are better now. I'm actually healthier on pretty much every objective measure in my 50s than I am compared to like my late 20s, early 30s. Like, so veganism's so unhealthy though, you know, it's killing me. Wow, Yangsty, you went vegan around 1981. Wow, see, back then, that's tough. Back then, being vegetarian was like, you know, really out there, really tough to do. So glad you're here, AJ. Good to see you. We were concerned if you were going to be able to make it tonight. I was hoping, if not, you'd watch the replay. So you're here, you made it. All our main channel members, our big time channel members made it tonight. Oh, AJ, we think about you. I was happy when I saw Sarah before I came on. Oh, Sarah, can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see a lot of you guys. Most of you guys, except for like Bob and stuff, you know. Are you here, Bob, still? Are you still here, Bob? Ad Neraim says, I would never start eating clams or oysters or anything. I would rather be deficient for life. Well, you're probably not gonna be. That's the thing. I don't eat those things, and I'm not sick and dying deficient or anything like that. So you're probably not gonna be. I'm not gonna say you won't. I don't know the future. I don't have a crystal ball, or I'm not God or anything like that. But anyway. Yeah, Peter, you sent me that link. I'll check it out. I can't believe all the crazy crap people are saying lately. Now they're saying fat vegans are wrong or immoral. Isn't that great? So, if you're non-vegan, you can kill all the animals you want, be as obese as you want. But if you're an overweight vegan, that's where people have trouble with, Except for Bob. You like that, Allison? Hey, Graham. Hi, Ryan and Vegan Family. When are we having a vegan family meetup this summer? I don't know. I'm not sure. Natalie, you have no idea if he's deficient or not. That's the thing I'm pointing out. I've not eaten bivalves pretty much my entire life, been vegan since 2010. I don't seem to be deficient or unhealthy or anything like that, according to all my doctors. I've been to quite a few over the past 10 years. So you're just dangling this thing out there. What if you might be unhealthy as a vegan? You should eat the bivalves, you don't know. Get tested before you make some kind of rash decision that has no basis in reality. Find out what the reality is first. That's an interesting one. Abalash, you've been vegan for 3 months now. Your state of conflict, whether it was right, like why not? You went vegan for purely ethical reasons. Although I believe we humans are omnivores. Well, just because humans have the ability to eat both plants and meat doesn't mean that you have to eat both plants and meat. It just means that humans are very adaptable. It gave us a survival advantage, meaning no matter what food was available at any time of the years in the past, in the ancient past, different climate catastrophes like ice ages, droughts, humans had the ability to eat whatever happened to be there and keep alive, which is awesome. But we don't find ourselves in these kind of survival situations all that often. Hopefully you're not trapped in like a mountain pass and it's freezing snow and you have to eat your friends or something like that. Most of us have access to food, supermarkets, Costco, whatever. You can get groceries, food, it's not a survival life or death situation. We don't have to maybe there's no plants because they all dried in the drought, so I have to hunt a wildebeest or tiger or something. It's not like that anymore. So who cares if people ate meat in the past? Doesn't mean that they had to eat meat in the past. And you might be, I'm glad you came for ethical reasons. That's awesome. That's what veganism is. It's not a diet or anything like that. It's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. However, you're probably wondering, is it healthy? Can you live without eating any animal products? Because our ancient ancestors ate them, like you're saying here. Well, the Dietitians of Canada, British National Health Service, all these organizations of health professionals there's a consensus, there's a unanimous position that they share, which is a well-planned vegan diet is nutritionally adequate. Yeah, you should take a couple supplements for sure, particularly B12. But who cares if we're omnivorous, meaning we have the ability to eat meat and not die instantly? That doesn't really mean that we need to eat meat. It means that, yeah, if you had to, you could eat animal products and not die instantly. It's not like poison or something like that. So good question. Hopefully that answer helps you out a little bit. See you, Mr. Lion, if you're leaving. Let's see. Raciov has a problem with me. You say you'll always be vegan, but also I think it's silly to say, well, I'm not deficient. Well, I'm talking about myself. I can't go out and speak for every last vegan out there. I've been tested many times, many different types of doctors, and they've all concluded that what I'm doing is working for me. I'm not sick. I'm not deficient. I'm not unhealthy. And again, what my experience is personal, anecdotal, but it reflects the general scientific consensus. If you think you know better than the Dietitians of Canada, the British National Health Service, the British Nutrition Foundation, Dietitians Association of Australia, Mayo Clinic, Heart and Stroke Foundation of Canada, and others, it's just a small subset. I could have a much longer list, but it wouldn't fit on my screen too well. They've reviewed the scientific literature, the relevant nutrition scientific literature, and have came to these position statements. It's not just like one guy saying this. These are groups of researchers, PhDs, biochemists who have relevant experience in these fields, and they've came to these conclusions. So I'm saying I don't think it's irresponsible for me to share my personal health journey and share how I'm not a freak or a weirdo. This is what's supposed to happen. So yeah, I'm sure there's some former vegans out there that weren't doing it in a healthy way. And that's probably why all these people I responded to over the years, most of them were doing something really weird, like losing weight or eating raw food or drinking urine or just doing weird dietary tweaks and experiments. That's not what it says to do here. I don't know why people think they know better than these health organizations. Just eat a sensible, balanced vegan diet, get enough calories. And this is what they say happens. It's a safe diet. It's a healthy diet. It can meet your nutritional needs. Yeah, Dr. Bear, we don't have to prove it. The scientific consensus is out there. It's like saying, Ryan, prove to me that, Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. I don't have to prove it to you. It's just a known fact. Prove to me, Ryan, that Mount Everest is the tallest place on planet Earth. I don't have to prove it. These are known things. And it's also a known thing that a well-planned vegan diet is nutritionally adequate. Yes, can you add supplements to make it better? Hell yeah, definitely. Talk to a vegan nutritionist. I could set you up with one if you want. I get no cut or anything like that. I'll just show you where to go. So I don't think that it's incumbent upon me to prove that a vegan diet is safe. It's already known. As long as you don't do anything silly like eat raw food or starve yourself, the many various things that many of these, I'm no longer vegan people did to themselves. Yeah, Dr. Beer, how come when a vegan gets sick or deficient, the assumption is that veganism, the vegan diet, called it. But if an omnivore gets sick or deficient, should we assume the omnivore diet caused it? Maybe they have certain unique chemistries. Their body absorbs nutrients in a not good way that's not normal, unfortunately for them. And no matter whatever diet they might be on, they might have issues. Like Cosmic Skeptic, for instance, he said the reason why he quit veganism, it made his pre-existing fartiness and he had to take explosive diarrhea poops a lot. It didn't help with that. It made it maybe even a little bit worse, but it wasn't like veganism caused it. He had that since childhood. So yeah, why is it when someone has a health issue as a vegan, veganism called it, plants cause it, but when they have a health issue as a meat eater, we'll look at some kind of biological genetic explanation instead. Yeah, true, VLAM. Yeah, let me read VLAM here. Also, veganism is not about never having nutrient deficiencies. Everyone, no matter what you eat, can be deficient. Nutritional deficiencies aren't like the exclusive property of vegans. But yeah, that being said, I've pretty much never met a nutritionally deficient vegan. I mean, I'm sure they exist, but you know, it's not as common as some people might seem to make it seem like. Michael, I asked you to come to the live stream, saw the message. All right, Michael, what'd you want to ask me, Michael? I'm probably going to get off pretty soon, meaning I've been streaming for nearly 3 hours. I'm quite hungry, and I went to the gym for 2 hours and 7 minutes and expended about nearly 1,000 calories on the basketball court. So I'll try my best to answer your question quickly. So do you have a question you want to ask me? This is not, you can come here and ask me right now. I don't have a video set up or anything like that. This is not a debate channel. This is a proposition channel. If you have an example or a proposition that you'd like to put up here, put it out there. I'll put it on the screen. We'll have a look at it and see if it holds any water once the light of critical thinking is shown on it. So go for it before I depart for the evening. Yeah, Peter, I can't stream for 24 hours. Veganism debunked. Yeah, Graham, veganism is not about being the healthiest diet. Every diet is specific. Yeah, nowhere in the definition of veganism does it say that it's the ultimate optimal human diet and it's the healthiest diet in the world. All we want to know is it healthy? And the organizations of health professionals who have reviewed the matter say, yeah, it is. Yeah, listen, I'm hungry. It must be the veganism. It has nothing to do with all the stuff I've been doing all day. Yeah, Dr. Bear telling Michael, spit it out. What are you here to tell us? AJ, I think Angie mentioned we're going to have a stir fry tonight. So I'm quite looking forward to that stir fry. I mean, some rice, some veggies. Who knows? Maybe I should put some tofu in there too. I studied philosophy. I was in a PhD program. Never once did we talk about symmetry breakers. I've heard the term. What's your question here? There's a lot of intentional killing, AVE rights violations in plant ag rodenticides, for example. What is a symmetry breaker between drinking milk and eating excess calories? Hard to relate only. Okay, first of all, Graham, thank you for the super chat tip there. Keep up the great work. Be good. Humans don't kill or exploit. It's that simple. It really is. Thank you, Graham, for your super chat tip. Very nice, very generous. So, all right, so let's get back to what's going on with your question here. We're going to not use philosophical jargon or debating jargon terms. We're going to use simple language because this is not a philosophy channel or anything like that. We're just regular, simple people here. So anyway, let's look at what veganism is, because I think you have a misunderstanding of what veganism is all about. Let's check out, hopefully you saw the definition, and crap, 1 second. There we go. Let's repeat after me. It's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. Why did I go vegan for? Because I realized that animals were being exploited on a daily basis for me to have a stupid hamburger, killing animals, exploiting animals their whole lives and slaughtering it so I could have a stupid hamburger when I could just eat plants instead and bypass animal cruelty and exploitation. So you're saying that somehow vegans are responsible for harm that happens in accidental harm that happens in agriculture. Why is it on vegans? Like, animals get harmed, sometimes people get harmed, sometimes agricultural workers get killed. Do we blame that on the vegans? No, it's just a problem of how agriculture works. There's accidents. Nothing's perfect. Like, say the supermarket truck is delivering food to the supermarket, and it has produce and meat on it, and it runs over a squirrel in the parking lot delivering food. Is that on vegans? No, it means we live in an imperfect world. And to expect vegans to somehow have this perfection thing, well, again, you're this is not what veganism is. We're taking a stance against animal cruelty as far as possible and practicable. Meaning, if the grocery truck runs over a squirrel delivering my bananas and your meat or whatever, how is that debunk veganism or make me inconsistent? It's doing as far as possible and practical. Nowhere in here does it say that, yeah, if there's any harm anywhere in the chain of the production of your foods, somehow the concept of veganism is flawed. You're trying to reduce this down to like you're trying to make this a nirvana fallacy. I mean, hey, there's a problem. There's 80 billion animals that get slaughtered every year so you guys can have your animal product foods. And hang on one second. Yes, sip. Oh God, I lost my train of thought. I'm so tired right now, guys. I've been here too long. It's basically trying to say that's the problem. So we have a solution to that. Veganism. Well, it's not a perfect solution. There's still going to be accidental harm to animals and people in agriculture. Hell, the grocery truck could have an accident and crash into a family and kill the family. I mean, is that, again, a vegan thing? We live in an imperfect world. Nowhere in the definition of veganism does it say we have to be perfect as far as possible and practicable. But you're trying to say, hey, since your vegan solution isn't perfect, there's still some harm. Some animals and people get killed in the production and delivery of your plant foods and also your meat foods too. Somehow veganism is just toss it out. Just go back to eating all the meat and dairy we want because your solution isn't perfect. And that's an appeal to futility fallacy, better known as a nirvana fallacy, meaning you're looking for a perfect solution and we don't have a perfect solution, but the solution is pretty damn good. So it doesn't mean just because it's imperfect, toss it out completely because it's not perfect. No, as far as possible and practical, vegans can't solve agricultural methods, imperfections like some crop deaths. We can't solve accidents that happen on the freeway or on the streets delivering food to farmers or markets or whatever. So anyway, guys, that's my answer to you there, Michael. That's you're expecting vegans to be perfect beings, and we're already doing way more than non-vegans are as far as reducing harm. Don't believe me? I could just blabber all I want here, but I have actual data to support what I'm saying here. If you're a harm reductionitarianist, as I think you might be, let's check out this mathematical model. And these numbers, I can send you the link here. I'll put it in the show notes. The data numbers come from governmental sources. It's not like from vegans or something like that, like PETA or something like that, like the USDA, stuff like that. And as you see here, if you really want to have the fewest amount of animals killed, which I assume you probably do, and most of us do, you would have no choice other than to eat a completely plant-based diet, because on the graph here, you see there's two parts. The red part corresponds to slaughter, appropriate there, red blood. The gold part of the graph corresponds to numbers of animals killed in harvest. So if you really want the fewest amount of animals killed, if you're a harm reductionitarianist, yeah, look at the lowest parts of the graph: grains, fruits, and vegetables. So that's the best we can do. We can't be perfect, but hell, look at chickens, eggs, beef. Look at all the death there. Not only crop deaths, but slaughter. Tons of killing going on there. So we're doing the best that we can. Are vegans perfect? No, we're not perfect. It's pretty much impossible, nor does the definition require perfection. All right, so I'm gonna have to get going pretty soon here. Vegans have nothing to do. We have nothing to do with pesticides or anything like that. They're being used to produce crops for you guys. In fact, most plants are not eaten by people. Most plants are being eaten by animals. Again, don't believe me. Let's look at something like, say, let's see, like soy. Let's see, 98% of soybean meal is used for animal feed. And on the other hand, 12%, how much actually makes it to human use here? Only 1% is used to produce food for people. So again, if you're truly concerned about reducing the amount of animals killed in the production of plants, go vegan, or at least eat plants, because most of the soy grown on the planet Earth doesn't reach humans. Just a mere 1% is used for food for human use. So anyway, That's all we're going to say about this. You can use all your philosophical fancy jargon all you want, but let's keep it real here. If you can't explain what you're thinking in simple language, you probably don't have a good grasp of what you're talking about. If you have to hide behind symmetry breakers and crap like that. No, just be real here. Let's look at the data. We don't live in an ivory tower where we just discuss pure philosophy stuff that's all up in the clouds and air. We look at real things that happen in this real world, that happen to real people and real animals. And this is what happens to, not this one, but the graph I had earlier. This is what happens in the real world to real animals. These are the amounts of animals being killed. Well, basically, the fewer plants I'm trying to say, the fewer plants that are grown, the fewer animals that will be harmed. Oh, is someone insulting Dr. Bear? What the hell? What's going on here? Dr. Bear is saying to Michael, who came here, no, I acknowledge that dairy and eggs require animal cruelty, and I don't eat them. I'm not a vegetarian. Why'd you call her a vegetarian? What's up with this? You're insulting a channel member as being a vegetarian, someone who is against animal cruelty and exploitation and doesn't consume dairy products? What this is crazy. So as far as excess calories of bodybuilders, vegan bodybuilders are going to bodybuild. The thing is, they're harming way fewer animals by being vegan bodybuilders. Again, look at this graph here. They're eating on the lowest portions of this graph. This is what vegans are doing, including vegan bodybuilders. They're responsible for exponentially way less harm than non-vegan bodybuilders are. But no, you want them to be perfect. You want them to not pursue what they want to do because you want the numbers to be even less for them. They're already less. They're like an order of magnitude less than what non-vegan bodybuilders require. How come vegans have to be the most perfect moral beings on the planet? Because again, we are not required to be perfect moral beings. Veganism doesn't demand that as far as possible and practical. If you want to be a bodybuilder or if you're overweight, no shame in that, but you're going to have people now, because of Cosmic Skeptic, people buy his lame arguments here that vegans somehow have to be perfect or something like that. And if they're lifting weights or if they're overweight or if they're even runners, because marathon runners, you have to eat a lot of food, to be shamed or condemned or something like that. Bullshit. We're already doing so much better. We're doing so much better than non-vegans are. Again, let me just show you how many animals get killed because of non-vegans. You guys are on the top part of the graph here. Vegans are on the lowest part. We're already doing so much good, but no, it's not good enough for some people. Vegans have to be perfect. We have to be like God. We have to be perfect divine beings of some kind. So, Michael, I suggest to you and other people like you who think vegans need to be perfect, just go back and remember what veganism is. It's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation as far as possible and practicable. So if you happen to be an overweight person, don't shame them. Don't condemn them. It's just we're just normal people. We come in all shapes and sizes. Some of us are small, some of us are big. Some of us are tall, some are short, some are bodybuilders, some are slender runners. We come in all shapes and sizes, and we eat food. And when we eat food, we're doing a pretty damn good job as far as harming the least amount of animals possible. And that's what veganism asks, as far as possible and practicable. We can't be perfect beings. We're not gods. We're not divine gods or anything like that. We're simple people with families and lives and professions and hobbies. We can have normal lives. We don't have to be special weird people that all have to be super skinny and have no muscles, because some people like Cosmic Skeptic might have a problem with that. Well, screw that. I don't give a shit. If he has a problem with it, tough shit. It doesn't mean I'm not vegan. Doesn't mean I'm not doing great things as far as avoiding animal cruelty and exploitation go. Yeah, Diablosel. Veganism is an animal rights movement. Accidental deaths are not rights violations. Michael's not listening to you, Dr. Bear. He's not listening to me. He's not listening to you. Everything I said just went in one ear, out the other. He doesn't give a crap that veganism is not about perfection. Nowhere is it defined as that, other than maybe from anti-vegans. Doesn't care that vegans are eating on the bottom part of this chart where there's a fewest amount of deaths. He wants absolute perfection or nothing. So what can you say to people like that, Dr. Bear? What can you say to people who demand perfect, no harm of any kind? Well, I'll just tell you what, we're not Jainists. That's the ahimsa concept from Jainism. I don't know why people think vegans are Jainists. We're against animal cruelty and exploitation. We didn't take a vow to avoid harming any living being at whatever cost. That's not what veganism is. We're against animal cruelty and exploitation. So there's nothing more we can really tell you here, Michael. Dr. Bear is chatting with you. I'm talking to you. I've shown you all my data. If you still think vegans have to be these perfect moral beings, we can't have any excess weight on our bodies, whether we were overweight or from lifting weights or whatever, there's nothing more we can say. You have this impractical, impossible to follow concept / definition of what vegan is, such that very few people in the world would want to ever even be vegan. If you told people, hey, if I'm out in the street doing street activism, telling people, yeah, you got to go vegan. I show them the slaughterhouse footage and the videos. Oh yeah, it's so cool. I'm gonna go vegan. Okay, well let me tell you, before you sign up for being vegan, you can't be overweight. I see you have an extra maybe 20 pounds on you, so you're gonna have to get rid of that pronto, or else you're gonna be a bad vegan. Also, I see you have some upper body muscle there. You're going to have to get rid of that. You're going to have to stop going to the gym. And some people say you shouldn't even have kids too, because kids are unnecessary eaters, and whenever food's eaten, it has to be produced and animals get harmed. You have to give them a whole list of things that they are permitted from ever doing. Do you see how stupid that is? Who would ever want to be vegan? That's why these ridiculous definitions of veganism are just that. They're ridiculous. You defined them in such a way, the concept of veganism in such a way that it can't be done, practically done, and who in their right mind would sign up to live such a restricted lifestyle? So you understand that, Michael? You get the point here. The way you've defined veganism, no one will ever become vegan. I couldn't ever go out and get someone to ever be vegan, because I have to give full disclosure. I'm not going to sell them on veganism and then tell them a year later, oh, by the way, you can't be overweight. You can't pump up your muscles. You have to give full disclosure. No one would, they'd say you guys are crazy. No. Yeah, Ryan's out of water. You know when I'm taking the lid off here, I'm out of water, huh? So anyway, yeah, that's why I have I have very little patience for people who believe that vegans need to be perfect. People that believe we all have to be level 5,000 vegans, or just give it up. Just go out and eat steak, because it's impossible to be this perfect level 5,000 vegan. So anyway, I'm sorry if I'm being harsh with you, Michael. I'm just over all these people who think that veganism means something that it doesn't. Just again, read what it is here. It's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. Doesn't say you're a perfect being. As far as possible and practicable, being against all forms of animal cruelty and exploitation. So yeah, if a bug gets ran over, if a squirrel gets ran over in the production of plants that you eat as a meat eater, assuming you're one, or as a vegan, that doesn't change anything about veganism. Yeah, it's funny how he's been rambling on. I see AJ and everyone asking, but what is your point? Uncle's asking it too. What is your point? What do you want? What would make you happy, Michael? What would make you satisfied? That when I sign up vegans out on the street, I'm going to tell them, by the way, you got to lose that belly, and you got to, like, your jacked muscles, they got to go. Is that what we got to start doing now? Is that we have to, and what other things, Michael, do you say we have to add to that list? And again, who are you? What kind of authority do you have to make this list of things that vegans can't do? I just want to know, what else do we need to put on this list? So when I do street activism, I can have the complete list as approved by Cosmic Skeptic and Michael as to all the things that vegans are not allowed to do. So what else, Michael? Educate me. What else can vegans not do? We can't be overweight. We can't have jacked muscles. How about marathon runners? Is that okay? Because I said, after you, even it doesn't have to be a marathon. You could do like just a 5K, 10K, half marathon run. You're eating a lot of food after that. You're starving, So what other things are vegans not allowed to do? Is running off the table now? Because when you're training like that, you're consuming more calories. Because when you go on a run, I get my runs on my Apple Watch here. I know I can, easily get 800, 1,000 calories on a run. I have to eat 800 to 1,000 more calories because of that. So I have to tell people, I'm just going by your logic, running is out of the question, right? I want you to acknowledge that there's harm that happens in the vegan diet. Yes, I told you that. I showed you in a fucking graph. I mean, oh my God. I showed you in a graph here. Yes, there is some harm that happens on a vegan diet, but comparatively, I tell you, a magnitude of a few orders of magnitude less harm that happens on a non-vegan diet. Yeah, I never said veganism is perfect. Yes, I've never denied that. Like right here, the harm that happens on a vegan diet is way less than what happens on other diets. So if you are truly concerned, Michael, as your heart seems to be, it's in the right place. You want to have the fewest amount of animals harmed in the production of plants for food. Then you have no choice other than to eat nothing but plants. And again, as I showed you, like soy, the most widely grown crop in the world, I believe, only 1% is used of soy produced, only 1% is used to produce food for people. So again, if you want to see the fewest amount of animals killed, well, why are we giving 98% of the soy to livestock? And imagine how many animals get harmed in the production of that 98% of soy meal that goes to livestock. If we didn't raise all those animals as livestock, we wouldn't need all those 98% of soy for them. See, I'm getting at it. I'm not saying veganism is perfect, but it's the best solution. There's no perfect solution. Again, that's the nirvana fallacy. Let me look that up for you since you don't seem to understand my point. Fauna fallacy. Here, Wikipedia. The nirvana fallacy is the informal fallacy of comparing actual things with unrealistic, idealized alternatives, meaning actual things. 80 billion, now 90 billion animals being slaughtered every year for meat eaters and people to have their animal products. Our solution is veganism, but you're saying it's an unrealistic solution. You're saying it has to be a perfect solution. That's the nirvana fallacy. Our solution has to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be a great solution in the sense that it reduces animal harm by these huge amounts, but it's still not good enough because you demand a perfect solution. Again, I never said veganism is perfect, but this is the best we can do. Yep, AJ, you had Oreos today. Veganism debunked because you have to be perfect, AJ. So again, when I'm out doing street activism, I show them the slaughterhouse footage. They go, "Yo, bro, sign me up." That's bullshit. I don't want to see. I don't want to be part of that. I have to tell them, okay, no weightlifting, can't be overweight, and your Oreos. You like Oreos, right? They're vegan. No more Oreos. You can't have vegan ice cream. I know there's great vegan Ben and Jerry's. None of that. That's off the table because Michael and Cosmic Skeptic have a problem with that. Yeah, VLAM, let's agree that everything taken to the extreme is problematic, and taking veganism to the extreme idea of perfectionism or bust, bad idea. Yeah, Uncle, Nirvana is an extra piece of cake, huh? Yeah, maybe they're confusing veganism with asceticism, like a renunciation of things, like being like starving and fasting yourself intentionally because, that's the least amount of harm. Dr. Bear is saying, no, it doesn't sit badly with me at all. The amount of land used to produce plants is way less than to produce animal ag. Do you know how she's right there, Michael? Again, let me show you. Soy, the largest crop, 98% of soy grown is grown for animals. Do you understand that? We are saying, yeah, we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. Dr. Bear's not perfect. But if we want to truly reduce how many animals get harmed in agriculture methods, well, let's not waste 98% of the soy that's grown on this planet to feed animals. Let's use all of it to feed humans. And guess what? We only have to grow 1% of the amount of soy out there. Do you get that? We only need to grow 1 or 2% of all the soy that's grown. We can reduce it down to 1 to 2%. That to me is a real world win. But people like Michael and I think Cosmic Skeptic live in this idealized world of just the brain, or the mind, I should say, this world of concepts, not the real world that you and I live in. This is the real world here. These are actual numbers, and think about it. How many animals are killed in the production of that 98% of soy that's grown as livestock feed? That's the real world, but they don't like the real world. They like concepts like perfection and all this stuff, but that's a bunch of crap. We live in this real world, and that's the truth of the matter. This is, if you really want to see the fewest animals harmed, go vegan. Yeah, I explained this, Uncle. Yeah, if you listened, I explained this multiple times. Michael, I understand your position. It's not like you're bringing anything new to me here that I've never heard before. I don't know if you know our channel. I've been doing this since 2013. I've been live streaming for like half of that. You're not bringing anything new to the table here. I don't want to like deflate your ego or anything like that. I know what argument you're making. You're making some kind of nirvana fallacy argument and using that as part of your confused definition of veganism as perfection. And you're confusing the ahimsa concept of Jainism with the definition of veganism as well, which doesn't require zero harm to living things. That's what Jainism is. We're against animal cruelty and exploitation. So if a rodent gets ran over by the Whole Foods delivery truck taking the bananas and meat to Whole Foods, that's not on me. I have no part of that. It's an accident. If the Whole Foods truck runs over a man crossing the street, that's not on me. That's an accident. Accidents happen in this world. We live in an imperfect world where shit happens. Doctor, I'm done. I don't want to think about, why do I need to talk about pests eating our resources? What the hell does that have to do with veganism, Dr. Barry? I mean, against animal cruelty and exploitation. What does pests eating our resources have to do with me not consuming animal products because we don't need to? I can eat plants instead and thereby significantly reducing the amount of harm that needs to happen in order for us to eat food. I mean, it's as simple as that. Who cares about pests? I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm not an ecologist or anything like that. I'm a music producer, if you haven't noticed. That's what I do here. And I'm eating in such a way that I'm causing the least amount of harm possible. I'm not perfect. I step on bugs. I flicked out a worm the other day when I was pulling a weed out. It happens, you know? I'm still vegan though. Excess calories. You didn't hear a thing we said. Yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe excess calories causes a little bit more harm, Michael. But again, look how much less harm vegans are doing by eating on the lowest part of the graphs here, grains, fruits, and vegetables. Do we make any claims to be perfect? No, because there already is some harm with grains, fruits, and vegetables. It just happens to be a shit ton less than for pork, beef, eggs, and chicken. So You want us to all be perfect, and we're not, you know? I'm not going to go out and tell people when I sign them up on the street to, it's not like I sign them up when I tell people, hey, let's go vegan, look at the slaughterhouse footage. I'm saying, oh, by the way, you can't have any excess calories, because this guy Michael comes to the live stream. He saw a Cosmic Skeptic video. Look, who are these people you're talking about? Don't worry, but you can't have excess calories. You can't be an athlete, because athletes require more calories to maintain their body weight. You can't be overweight, because Michael gets mad too, because that means you're harming. See what I'm saying? It's just impractical. The way you've defined veganism, your concept of veganism, is so restrictive, so extreme, that no one would ever want to be vegan, and no one could really ever really truly be vegan, except for maybe a couple weird ascetics. Yeah, Uncle, are you perfect? Yeah, great question. Are you perfect? Because that's what he's asking for, basically. There's no straw manning. No, you don't have to throw out more terms here. I'm just showing you the problem with the reasoning that both you and Cosmic Skeptic have shown here. You've defined veganism in a way that is not how veganism is defined. You guys are defining in a way that somehow it requires people to have some kind of perfection thing. You know, it's not part of, like, no harm, zero harm, or something like that. That's not what veganism is. So we're gonna have to just, end this discussion on that note. That's why I strongly dislike absurd definitions of veganism, because they lead to absurd consequences. Like, vegans can't lift weights, vegans can't be athletes, vegans can't have excess pounds on their body. They're somehow immoral if they're a few pounds or many pounds overweight. That's full-on body shaming, which is pretty effed up shit. So I don't know why we're being so mean and judgmental here. Why do people like Michael come here and just try to shame athletes, try to shame overweight people? That's not what veganism is. Again, we're all about just being against animal cruelty and exploitation. Veganism is not a shaming lifestyle. Do I not like that definition? The definition that Cosmic Skeptic gave? No, if you watched my video yesterday, I showed you how absurd his definition was, that I reduced it to absurdity. If you're a philosophy-minded person, it's called a reductio ad absurdum. I reduced it to absurdity. I showed how, vegans can't even have kids if we have to worry about having the fewest amount of harm happen from agriculture. Shouldn't have kids. You don't need to have kids. You can be perfectly healthy without having kids, maintain your body weight without having kids. So don't have kids. Vegans shouldn't have kids, because you're going to put out a kid in the world. It's going to consume food, and the animals will die because of that. See, so I have to tell people when they sign up to being vegan, okay, not only can you not be overweight, not only can you can't be athletic, you can't really have kids. Like, the one you have, just kind of keep your kid right now. Don't kill it or anything, but you can't have any more kids, because that next kid's going to have to eat food. And that's problematic, because when they produce food out in the fields, animals get harmed, and we don't want that. Like, no, your definition sucks. If you have any definition that puts so many unreasonable restrictions on vegans, your definition is shit. All right? It's an absurd definition. Yeah, veganism is, that's part of veganism. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we can have a definition of veganism that doesn't explain everything about veganism. Just like if you look up the definition of human, you're probably not going to see the concept of human rights and stuff like that. Yeah, we can have a definition of veganism that doesn't make explicit mention of extending rights to animals, but it's implied, and you can't have everything in a definition. If so, you're going to have a giant page. A definition has to have a certain maximum length. If it's too long, the definition has lost its power. It can't say everything. This captures the essential components of what veganism is. You don't have to be perfect. You're against animal cruelty and exploitation as far as possible and practicable. Yeah, VLAM, that's what I've been saying. That's a problem with people like Michael and Cosmic Skeptic. I'm going to read VLAM's comment verbatim. Philosophy is meaningless if divorced from the real world. Let's say it one more time together, VLAM. Philosophy is meaningless if divorced from the real world. And what this guy and Cosmic Skeptic are doing, they're living purely in this purely mental, conceptual realm of forms and spirits. Like, it's not the real world. They're thinking about shit like how many angels could dance on the head of a pin, that sort of stuff, you know, just purely mental speculation, mental philosophical exercises. We're talking about the real world here. So if we're having a disconnect on this discussion with Michael, is that his name? I think that's what's going on. We're having a disconnect. They're living in this world of pure reason, not the real world. And I'm grounded in this world that we live in, a world where vegans don't have to be perfect, a world in which animals are harmed in the productions of all foods, including plants, but way fewer for plants. This is the world that we live in. And the best decision you could do is to be vegan, and to shame vegans for eating ice cream, to shame vegans for being overweight is just so, it's just narcissism. It's judgmental nonsense that we don't need to have anywhere. It's not, I don't know where this is coming from, but this is just, these are not the kind of people I want to be associated with. Judgmental a-holes. Yeah, Diablo self. You want zero harm? Yeah, don't exist, right? I mean, that's what they're saying. There's in their minds, that's the best kind of vegan, one who unalives himself or doesn't exist. That's their concept of best vegan, because zero harm happens then, right? You're not consuming food, zero harm. That's the ideal vegan, as a non-existent one. Yeah, Dr. Barrett Peter, yes, vegans can advocate for better farming practices, yes, but they should point out that advocacy at people who actually control agricultural practices, not insist that fellow vegans have to live perfectly. Like I said, yeah, these are issues in the agricultural practices. These aren't vegan issues. We don't control how agriculture is run, but still, even with all the imperfections of agriculture, how horrible it is, look, plant foods are the best if you are truly concerned about harming the fewest amount of animals. But no, we have to be perfect according to these guys. Eating vegan ice cream, not good enough. Even though we're doing so great here, not good enough. You have to be perfect, or else veganism is null and void. Yeah, you're shaming people. You're saying you can't be vegan and overweight. It's somehow morally wrong or inconsistent, or to use vegan, whatever that guy's name, cosmic skeptic words, condemned, you know? It's a type of shaming. You're not saying, hey, you're an overweight vegan? Awesome. Love you. You're so awesome. Oh, you're a bodybuilding vegan? You're totally cool too. No, you're casting a negative light on them for sure.
And a force for good.
Thank you, VLAM. I'm trying to be my best to be a force for good. And I think I'm a normal vegan. I'm just a sensible, rational vegan, you know? And I can spot through, and thank God I studied philosophy when I did. Like I said, I was in a PhD program, majored in philosophy, and a PhD program after that. Thank God I studied that so I can spot these just abuses of critical thinking that I'm seeing all the time about veganism. These just horrible, these completely miserably flawed definitions of veganism that define veganism in such a way that no one could possibly or practically do it. And no one in their right mind would ever sign up for that if they knew all the lists of things that vegans were forbidden from doing, like eating ice cream and being overweight or going to the gym. Yeah, Allison, vegans can't use disinfectant. It kills bacteria, huh? Bread isn't vegan. The yeast, though. I mean, there's so many things. How perfect do we need to be? Where do we draw the line when it comes to perfection? Because we're already pretty damn good, as we see here, but apparently people just want to keep getting those gold lines down even smaller and smaller and smaller. We have to be perfect beings, or else veganism is just a crap concept. We're all a bunch of hypocrites. Yeah, stop splitting hairs, Michael. If we can do this, we've done our job. Seriously, if we can accomplish this, eat on the bottom parts of the graph, veganism accomplished. Mission accomplished. Now we just need more people eating like we are, eating only vegetables, fruits, and grains. If we can accomplish this, it'd be, that's the goal. Not to make everyone a perfect being. Veganism is not about creating perfect beings on this planet. It's about getting people to stop consuming animal products and having a world where this happens. instead of the top part of the graph happening. We want the bottom part, the last 3 lines on the graph to happen. Okay, Dr. Bear's quoting him. The vegan eating cake causes a hell of a lot more harm and rights violations. Yeah, where's your objective evidence for that? That's your assertion. Where is your support? I've been showing you support all day here, Mike. I hope, even though you might not respect me or what I've been saying, hopefully you respect my presentation has been both based in critical thinking and supported by evidence. I've been showing you evidence of what I've been saying. So what's your evidence that eating cake, vegan eating cake, is causing some horrible crap to happen, like the top parts of the graph? Please show us that, how eating vegan cake takes us from like what's going on with vegetables, fruits, and grains to something like eggs and chicken. Please show us how harm jumps up this crazy amount if someone were to eat a vegan cake. All right, where is you made an empirical claim, something that is not speculative. I assume you have data for it, so please show us what you have. Yeah, he's throwing poop on the wall, huh, Dr. Bear? He has no, he's making a what sounds like an empirical claim. This is something that shouldn't be like, should we just scratch our heads and wonder? No, it sounds like he knows what he's talking about. So please, show us your evidence. Support your assertion. Forgive using philosophical jargon here, but yeah, you made a proposition, you asserted it. Now show us your evidence. Again, I hope you respect, I've been showing you my evidence the entire time. Show us your evidence that the vegan eating cake causes a hell of a lot more harm and rights violation than vegetarians eating cheese. Again, show us your data. If we look at the graphs here, let's look at milk. That's the least amount of harm here. And in fact, what's wrong with this graph on milk is that it's too conservative. It's not showing the animals that are actually killed in dairy production, such as, like, say, what happens when male calves are birthed. They're slaughtered, or they're set aside as veal and then slaughtered a little bit later. Female cows are either slaughtered or drafted into being new dairy cows. So we're not even getting how much exploitation is utilized in the modern dairy practices. We're just getting the deaths used to feed dairy cows. We're not actually getting into the slaughter. So this graph is too kind. So I want to, even with this very kind assessment of how many animals are harmed in milk, how do we jump up from like the animals killed in grains and fruits to surpass milk? Because that's what Mike would have to show. Is that his name? How do we go from, let's get some actual numbers here too. I'm just looking at the graphs. So let's see. So for grains, we have less than 2 animals killed. Milk, at least 4.78, and it's got to be more than that because I showed animals, as I said, animals are slaughtered all the time in dairy, particularly male calves. So it's got to be double that. So how do we jump from at least 1.7 to about 5, Michael? How do we kill that many more animals when a vegan eats a cake? Michael, please don't tell anyone here to be sensitive. You're the one that's coming around saying that it's somehow morally wrong for people to be overweight, either intentionally as bodybuilders or say unintentionally as just someone who's overweight for, just normal overweight reasons. So no, you're not going to you're not going to say that, get rid of, no. So I just timed out Michael. He violated one of our cardinal rules here, which is to be civil. Personal attacks, harassment, that sort of stuff. Telling her not to be, telling her what kind of attitude she needs to take. She can have any kind of mental attitude towards your wild, judgmental assertions as she cares to have. So you're trying to restrict her thinking or control her thinking as far as her emotional reactions to your nonsense. So anyway, she's gone. I mean, he's gone. Michael's gone. Dr. Bear is saying that there's a vegan bakery in your town. Michael's inspiring you to order some vegan cookies. Unnecessary calories, the horror. See, you're not a perfect vegan. Roundness is not tolerant. Let's move on. So anyway, he's gone. you're not going to insult our channel members and tell them to, how they should react emotionally or not react. AJ is a grown woman. She has every right to be negatively affected emotionally, as I have been, by such just horrible statements that involved shaming people who are overweight. Yeah, I was about to do something when he said you were a vegetarian, but now when he combined that with what he said to AJ, and furthermore, how everything we said here, all the evidence I showed, supported by critical thinking and evidence-based information, no, it doesn't make a difference. He'll just throw another poop on the wall and furthermore, not support it. I asked, hey, okay, so you made these claims here comparing how much harm and rights violations happen when a vegan eats a cake versus dairy. Support that claim. Again, these are empirical claims. We're just not speculating about how many angels could dance on the head of a pin. These are actual things that we should know. And nothing, just crickets. So it just shows you how people's opinions don't change, no matter what kind of facts are shown. It doesn't matter. Once someone has grasped these, or just not grasped, but just committed to these absurd beliefs, really, not much you can do to show them that what they believe is pretty absurd. Yeah, roundness is very much tolerated here. All shapes and sizes are welcome and tolerated by me and the vast majority of the vegan community. And I'm sorry that there are judgmental people out here in this world who will shame you for being too big, too small, too skinny, too whatever, too old, too young, whatever, too smart, too dumb, whatever. We're all individuals. We all are who we are. And we shouldn't be shamed for being who we are, for our physical attributes and stuff. No, Michael said I invited him to the live stream, and I did. Before the live stream, I saw a bunch of flying monkeys gaslighting in my comments from yesterday's video, trying to say, well, that's not what Cosmic Skeptic was saying at all. He wasn't even talking about vegan. I was just saying, come, if you really didn't think I reduced his argument to absurdity, come to the live stream and tell me where I went wrong. Be specific. Show me the flaw in my reasoning or whatever. Just make your case. So I let him come, and yeah, nothing. He just kind of repeated more of the same old thing that Cosmic Skeptic was saying. Just the same argument. Didn't bring anything new. Had the same absurd problems with that concept of veganism. Nothing's changed. The same old thing. Yeah, Carl, I kind of caught that too. I was talking a lot, but he was oddly right about that one thing about extension of human rights to animals. Yeah, totally. That's a very vegan concept. But he was trying to advocate for dairy, right? His cheese, which has tons of exploitation and cruelty. But yeah, all of us should indulge ourselves and buy ourselves some vegan junk food. Get your favorite cookies, cake, ice cream, whatever it is, and know that it has nothing to do with being a bad vegan or a immoral, hypocritical vegan or something like that. Vegans are regular people. We can enjoy foods that have no animal products in them, and it's vegan. That's why it's called vegan stuff. Yeah, if he had good intentions, VLAM, it seemed like he wanted to eliminate harm, but if so, why not listen to what I said here? If you're truly, you can't eliminate all harm. That's impossible. It just won't happen on this planet, in this world. There's accidents every day. We cannot eliminate all harm, but we can eliminate a significant amount of harm, as shown here. So if you really are a harm reductionitarianist, you have no choice, as I say, other than eat plants, the bottom foods on the graph. So if he really believed that, he would walk his talk by eliminating dairy and whatever non-plant-based foods are in his diet. All right, guys, this is a crazy one. I think I was going to be on 3.5 hours. Angie's probably tripping, and I'm pretty hungry right now, too. Uncle, I should have brought up Hitchens' razor. Yeah, what can be asserted without evidence, like the stuff Michael's bringing up about how vegan cake is worse than dairy, it can also be dismissed without evidence. I don't have to even argue against it. If you can't support it with any, if you can't support these wacky, zany claims with any evidence, I don't even have to debunk it. You're just asserting nonsense. So anyway, guys, I think I've lost my voice tonight too. So anyway, guys, yeah, I'm out of water, as you guys saw. This thing is dry. Oh, nothing in it. All right, guys, so thanks for staying with me all this time. Some of you guys were here the whole time, so I tip my hat if I had one on tonight, guys. Thank you. But yeah, AJ, it was pretty boring before you came. It got crazy after you came, so you saw all the sparks flying. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for all your support, being here with me, and sharing all your good vibes. I'm glad I don't have a bunch of a-hole people like that, just being all judgmental and I'm so perfect and all. I don't like people like that, and I think I've gotten rid of people like that. They know how I don't tolerate that. I'm not cool with that. So I think they left and found other people to follow. Thank heavens, I don't need them. I'm left now with this really cool, kind, compassionate, and smart group of followers here in our live stream. And I think you guys hopefully appreciate that too. Our nice, cool community of just normal, just chill people that are not narcissists and all that. So I appreciate that. So thank you guys. So thank you, Uncle and Peter, for being with us. I think Peter left already, but thanks for moderating and sharing all your thoughts and joining in the discussion. And I will see you guys next week. I think Peter already sent me some more videos to check out, so I'm going to just keep going with Peter's suggestions for the time being, I think. So hopefully I'll have time next week to make you guys a video. Got a lot of stuff planned, but I should have time for another video. And I plan to be back next Friday for another live stream. So thank you, everyone. Much love. And until then, remember, doesn't suck being vegan. Bye, guys.